Do you at least change your oil?
Yeah. Well, if I had a lift, yes.
Oh man.
Like I had a buddy show me how to when I was in Cali, and there was this place where you could just pay like $20 to use lifts.
Oh,
so you can just stand under the car and shit.
I basically lived under cars. So
yeah, I did not.
Like one time I was doing what was it? The fucking alternator and then in the Mazda, and I was at O'Reilly's, and the officer pulls up because it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm in the dark just cussing up a storm and shit, and you need help there? I was like, no, I got it. He's like, all right. Now he drives away, and then basically I wasted a bunch of hours because all I had to do is just retry again, and it fit right in like nothing. And I was so mad at myself because I was like trying to force it in.
See, I can diagnose other people's issues as long as my car has had that issue before. So like I was on the phone with my sister, and her car, basically it was the coil pack needed replacing.
Yeah. And
she was telling me what was going on, and I was like, that sounds like what happened with my car like 5 years ago. And I had a buddy who, like, in the Marines, he was a mechanic prior to the Marines, and he was just like, oh, I can fix that for you. It's like $20, whatever. And she
real quick before we get too far into this story, older sister or younger sister?
Oh, I'm the baby. Older.
I'm just, how much older?
What the fuck is this? Why the fuck is it green?
You don't know.
Okay.
All right, so Emerald, the first one is green, and I don't know why.
As long as you can't see the names, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, as far as I know, I got all the names.
Excellent.
If I fucked up any of them.
Okay, folks. So I had a whole plan for how I wanted this show to go, and then some shit happened that I want to show you guys. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to get to. So I complain all the time. This is something that I think maybe only Iron understands, which is how shitty local comedy communities are to deal with. It is so everyone who does comedy. Okay, because you got to think. So local comedy, the open mic circuit, what that means is that is comedy that is performed for no money. That means it's just egos on the line, and it is filled with petty, small, insecure people who lie and backstab, and their whole sense of self-worth is wrapped up in how a given 4-minute open mic set goes. Uh-oh. Where did I go? Can you guys see me?
No, you're frozen.
Frozen. Oh, okay, frozen. Okay.
It's not too bad of a frozen face either, so.
No, you have all of them.
Looking good. You don't look weird at all.
Be edited
okay, good.
To an appropriate measure.
All right, so I'm gonna just share. As long as you guys can still hear me, I'm just gonna.
We can hear you.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna pull up this post. Okay.
I don't know why it's green. I apologize.
Okay, so this requires a little explaining.
Nothing wrong with green.
This requires a little bit of explaining. So the Draft Zone is a place that hosts stand-up comedy locally, and the belt is a plastic wrestling belt that you get if you have the best open mic set, which is to say nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It comes with the fake title of best comedian of all time of the week for right now or whatever. And there's no money attached to it. There's no professional opportunities attached to it. It's just a nice thing that we do to say, hey, good job on comedy this Thursday. Come back again. That's what we do. And sometimes you get your picture on Facebook. That's what happens. Sometimes you do. If you post it yourself, you'll get your picture on Facebook, which turns out is something anybody can do.
Right.
Anyway.
Shocking.
So I'm going to ask real quick, just to derail a bit. Are you only denigrating this award because you haven't gotten it?
That's not relevant. Anyway.
Moving on.
Anyway. This person who is a woman says, how come when women win the belt at the Draft Zone, all documentation of the event is non-existent? Asking for me, and she name checks another woman who, by the way, does not appear in this story. Right.
Also, this woman is white and blonde. In case you couldn't figure that out.
This is I need you guys to picture a mentally unstable, overeducated millennial feminist. That's what I want you guys
she's a
to
millennial.
picture.
God, she looked
challenging,
old.
but I think I got it.
Yeah. So you understand the picture. All right, let's go to the next one. Hold on.
I love that he's now just like an image that's talking.
Yes. There we
An
go.
improvement,
Okay.
honestly.
Yeah, I don't know how to. Let's see. Hold on.
Just turn your camera off and down.
Does that fix it? I'm gonna try
Nope.
to.
Nope. You're still trapped in. I think I smell fart face.
Okay.
You
Well,
step
that's
to the
good.
back room and
This
come
is
back.
awesome. Hold on.
Have you
Wait, leave
tried
this one up, leave this one
unplugging
up,
and replugging in the
Let's
camera?
try that. Yeah. Fuck. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, we're gonna do this. There we go. That's a little less
Thank
retarded.
God.
Okay. So this is a guy who is he's made the mistake of thinking that he can be reasonable. And are you guys hearing me? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Fixed it. All right. This guy's made the mistake of thinking that he could be reasonable and solve this problem because he's like, oh, okay,
Silly
well,
man.
when I won, it wasn't posted. It's probably because the guy who runs the mic is a busy person with a job and a life. He's out pretty late and works the next day. Well, that's pretty reasonable. Maybe, but I doubt it. It's too much of a pattern now. No one's ever tired when a man wins. And he's like, dude, never mind. She's saying, no one's ever tired when a man wins. You know, so she's saying this is just an excuse for God.
Okay, whiny
As-
bitch.
As I mentioned, it wasn't posted when I won. So literally the thing you're saying contradicts reality, even if it feels good to say. It contradicts reality, as I just said. Just said. It's the thing I just said right there. Sometimes, right? People just like don't post things. Remember, this is for free. No one's being paid anywhere. So she's expecting to be promoted for free. That's what she said. She's not saying, hey, why didn't you post this picture of me that I took of myself? She's saying, why didn't you take time out, take a picture of me, and then post it on Facebook? All of which would have been an unpaid job that I'm asking you to do. It's all, and then see the guy who runs it, he thinks he can jump in and just make a joke and it'll be fun. He's like, hey, it's all part of my master plan to keep these broads in their place. As you can see, good reactions to that.
Made me
Very
giggle.
funny, humorous. And then this guy jumps in and says, I've always posted my own, which, by the way, is how an adult responds.
Yep.
That's what an adult does. And I want you to, I do not like this man. I'll be honest with you. I do not like this man. He's not my favorite person, but I got to give him credit. He's a relentless self-promoter. That's why I'm blocking his name out on the show. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's probably one of the best self-promoters that I've seen in the business. And he's when he wants to post a photo on Facebook, he posts a photo on Facebook. That's how an adult handles the situation. He doesn't act with entitlement. He just does it. All right. Anyway, he says, truth is, I'm just like bad at remembering, blah, blah, blah. He's just like bad at remembering. There's a totally reasonable explanation for why this might have happened, right?
No,
This is
all bigotry. No other way.
Right. And she jumped to the conclusion that it was bad faith immediately. Let's see if we can go to the next one.
Oh boy.
There's a few more of these that I want to go through because this gets fun.
There were 8 in total.
Yeah.
Self-entitled bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she says, go ahead.
The thing I learned is just don't even respond. So that happened to my Facebook the other day, week, which I posted the Valentine's Day meme of Elon going, I give my heart to you, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like everyone thought it was funny, even people who were like left leaning that I know. And then all of a sudden I get this one chick I know. I don't find this funny. And then like, mind you, she is white and blonde. And
Right.
Hey.
so I don't find this funny. I was like, oh god. So I just sent a picture to our other friend, like a screenshot, like, look at this shit. And then so I guess she's like, I didn't respond to her and no one else did. And then so she types to herself, well, you know what? It doesn't matter anyway. And then she deleted her comment. I was like,
You shamed her with silence. Good job. How could you be so violent to a woman? The audacity.
Silence is
This is
violence.
crazy. Yeah.
But also, words are violence too.
This is good. So he's basically the guy who runs it says, hey, it happens. My bad. I'll try to get it up. It's not because you're a woman. It's not. She's like, I'm going to tell you what every man in comedy told me when my first time around. If you don't have the time to take comedy seriously, you need to get out because this isn't about finding a boyfriend. Am I joking? We'll never know. By the way, she's saying this to a man who was working for free, not being paid, not being paid, not being paid. Here's the thing. I've won 5 times and had 1 picture posted. I think a lot of the time, pics are taken by a third party and don't make it to the owners. The Draft Zone is the best local spot for comedy, but they aren't perfect. Wow, what a reasonable response. How do you think that was received?
This guy's great, actually, because he's actually fully defending it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, go to the next one.
How are you, a man, going to tell me that someone's being nice?
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, I thought that was the actual response. I wouldn't have been surprised.
You should start doing that as a dramatic reading. Do this as dramatic reading.
And then another. This is another woman in the community who's jumping in to complain that she. Oh shit! There we go. Hold on, I had an echo in my headphones. This is another woman jumping in to just complain. She's like, sister was like, don't worry, I don't win there anyway. LOL. She's another female comedian. She wins sometimes, I guess. I don't know. I don't keep track of who wins this thing. It's just I don't concern myself with such things. Anyway,
I wonder why. Why is it, Theo?
And that's not relevant. Anyway, so she just. So then the guy who runs it, he tries to respond with a joke because it's funny and we're all being funny. Here's a picture of that time you won. And then it turns out if you'll if you'll go to the next one, you'll find out she was 100% serious. Oh, we got the Rumble chat here.
Yeah. My 10 seconds of hard work. How could you?
Hey, Mrs. Ralify's here. Cool.
Hi.
And Mr. Ralify. Both of the Ralifys.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
The good one and the one that's meh.
Yeah.
Get both of them railify together and you get railed if I.
Oh, right.
Hey.
Yeah, and then so she's blah, 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 blah. You try to make a joke out of it. The complete disregard for the blatant misogyny would be too hard to face otherwise. Carry one. Clearly she hit a nerve or there wouldn't have been so many responses. My comment was for Brandy, but thanks. So he tries to apologize, says we'll discuss it in private.
Never,
Don't do that.
nope,
Never do
that's-
that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. They're capitulating.
Tap out.
They're capitulating. What you need to do is say this. Here's the thing. This entire post is malignant. Emerald, do we have any more screens to get through? I think that's most of what I wanted to show. I don't think we have any more. Let's see. We might have another one. Yeah, oh yeah, this guy. Oh, I took a picture of this. This is just my buddy who had the best take. Why the fuck did you make this about gender? So you don't get your picture posted. So what? I have hundreds of pictures on my phone. Only a few have ever been posted. It's not about your demographic, for Christ's sakes. Give the man time. Like, look, dude, the guy who runs it is busy and has a full-time job.
Now,
see, but that's
I'm
a
gonna
concept
say
that the millennial
best
woman
way.
can't.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What I would say, if you're going to respond to this, the best thing to do is double down on the jokes. Be like, well, start using words like sweetie. And, if we're going to put, here's the key question. You are a chick and a comic, so we already know you're not funny. Are you hot? What's the cup size? What are we talking
That's your response. You're not hot enough to say this.
No, and that's part of the problem. It's like,
Is that like a hot to funny factor?
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know a ton of funny chicks. That's what's frustrating about this. I know a ton because I've been on the road as a comedian. I've seen them. They're good, And here's the thing. Like, you just don't. This is just not how you act if you want to be a person that gets along with other people.
Woman, so might as well not be a person.
Just be a person. Just act like this is like not how you advance yourself in a community. This is not how you make people want to work with you and give you opportunities. Like this is
it's actually the opposite.
Yes, this is only going to shoot you in the foot. You are making yourself look like a doofus in front of the whole community. No one is going to forget this. Everyone is going to walk on eggshells around you, right? You have made everything worse for everyone for nothing. For nothing, because there was a perfectly reasonable explanation for why it might not happen, but you went straight to nuclear. You assumed bad faith before you even had the opportunity to address it. And I'm using this as an example. And now the picture, see, he capitulated. He posted the picture. He posted
I wouldn't
the
have
picture.
posted it. Why
Full
did you post it?
capitulation.
Yeah, you
You
don't
just gave
negotiate
in.
terrorists.
You gave
But also,
it to
you're missing.
terrorist.
That's not going to make the problem go away.
No, she's going to get worse now. She's emboldened. And this is how we got to where we're at politically and culturally.
Culturally, yes.
Letting women out of the kitchen.
You are missing one point, though.
You're gonna get me. They got him on Rumble.
I have to switch my AirPods. They don't fit with my headphones
No,
on.
but you're 100% right. This is how we got where we are. And it's not just with women and feminists and that are constantly, if I don't get exactly what I want, it's because you're oppressing me or this or that. It's the same thing with all of these, certain communities that have taken over every aspect of culture and entertainment. And now that's why it only reflects their version of reality and their narcissism. It's because you thought you had to apologize, say sorry, and do exactly what they want. Never do any of that.
But we're also missing one other thing here. You said that you think this is going to hurt her career. I think the opposite is going to happen. Basically, what she's done is she's come and said, I've got a peacemaker missile. If you don't give me exactly what you want, I will call you sexist. And because we live in Washington, everyone is going to go along because they're so afraid of being accused of hurting someone's feelings.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is one of the reasons that I don't really fuck with this community anymore is because this is the prevailing attitude is one of capitulation and obsequiousness and bowing down to this kind of tyrannical HR culture. And there we go. Hold on, my video. Hold on. How we doing? Am I still frozen, by the way?
No, not at all.
Yes, you are.
Guys,
you look better like that, Theo. You should keep it like that.
You know what? Gall, I'm gonna remember this. I'm just gonna. You know what?
You don't remember anything.
All right. Hold on.
And there you go, random chatter. Happy now?
There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. Fix it. All right. Let's see. Let's see.
Good. The voting rights of this panel just went up.
All right. What do we say? Did I try to politely ask her for? Did I try? I didn't try that. No, I didn't think about that. Emerald, can we get Gall back in here? I feel bad. I was just kicking her as a bit. Now I don't know where she went. Oh, there she is. I found her. Okay. I just kicked her for the bit, and then I couldn't find her again.
Yeah, no. you physically kicked me out. I had to come back.
Well, if you weren't mouthing off. See, if you had a husband, you wouldn't have this problem. I'd take it up with him.
Theo, are you putting in a job application?
Like a woman.
Yeah. Well, I got it. Well, I have to
you
maintain.
Be able to take a joke.
I have to maintain some kind of social order, Gal. It's not my fault.
Gal.
Somebody's got to train you to act right because your husband's not doing it.
What I think is actually going on, Gal, is Theo's asking you to be his husband.
Oh,
because someone's got to wear the pants.
Wear pants more often than
that's
he does.
Like, all right, let's get. Can we kick Arthur too? Let's do this. Let's see. There we go. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. All right. Let's see. Fuck Washington. All my homies hate Washington. I hate Washington. Also, thank you for bringing that up, Ralphie. Rumble chat is killing it again. Ours are correct. You look better frozen in carbonite. Dude, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I like it when the chat turns against me. It's how I feel loved. Okay, Arza has returned from timeout.
I'm gonna get the gay brigade to come and paint dodos.
You're gonna get a gay raid on my channel? How dare you?
You sounded way too excited for that.
That's like, well, I always appreciate new fans, and I do incredibly well with gay men. I do a little hair flip, and all of a sudden they're handing me money.
Here, show me. Let me see.
Is that why you have the long hair?
I can't. I'm frozen. No, that
you put it.
Who's getting kicked now? This is so chaotic.
Okay, I think Iron's gone.
There he is. Okay. All right.
You put your hair in pigtails for him, don't you?
That's not every day. All right, this has been fun. Yeah, I cannot get my camera to work, and that's pissing me off. And I've been trying to kind of
you're gonna have to
what?
Turn it off, leave, and come back. Like completely leave Talk Studio.
Have you
Okay.
tried
no,
turning
probably
it
fuck the
off
stream.
and back on again?
Okay, is that gonna kill the stream?
I don't think so because Emerald's here.
Okay, rad.
Because
All
I'm
right,
a team
I'm gonna
member.
dip out for a second.
Let's see if it crashes or not.
But we pull an MSK.
What? And so I've taken over the show. Welcome, everyone. We're gonna have some
Oh,
fun. We're gonna talk.
Glorious
about-
dictator, please be kind.
I'm very kind. I'm a very honest and very giving leader, and I just let everyone do what they want. So there we go. I'm out.
Oh man.
I miss the old
Oh, there it
face.
is. Okay, I fixed it. Hey, everybody's happy. We can see me
Yeah.
again.
No, we're
God
not.
damn, that was so annoying because you guys were insulting me like 4 at a time, and I'm trying to like troubleshoot tech issues, and I'm like half
He's like, I
listening.
don't have to.
I was
Nick.
like, I know they're calling me gay and questioning my dignity as a man, but I don't know exactly why or how. So I just have to.
I wasn't aware
generically
you
deal
had
with
any.
it. Generically. By the way, Gall, the reason I kick you from the studio is because I don't have a kitchen to send you to. I promise I would come up with a more creative punishment. Can I talk to your father? Because you are really out of pocket.
Why,
I
you-
He's
I
actually
feel like
closer to you than
I need to know who to file a complaint with somebody.
No,
There's
the
has to be
real
somebody
reason-
I can complain to about you.
So you
The
can
real reason-
commiserate
Other than my
lying.
diary. All
The
right.
real reason he wants to talk to your father is so you can offer him a couple sheep for your hand.
I'm not giving up good sheep pussy for that. No.
So you know what? If bestiality is your thing, I get it. It makes sense. I understand now.
That was pretty funny. I'm glad I said that. I'm glad you guys were there to witness that, by the way. That was really inventive.
Hey, guess what?
comedic styling.
It's written
Best thing
down. which
was
means it
I
will
only
get
got
clipped.
here for
It's
that
written
part,
down.
so I
Yeah.
don't even know the context. Just that you
No.
like sheep.
That's okay.
Just
Yeah, and honestly, because of something I said, I think on insert title here last week, people have been posting horses in the chat. I think at one point, just as a bit, I said horses were the most fuckable animal, which I stand
Time to
by.
go
I
back
think
and find
that's
it.
True. But I don't remember saying that. But then people have been posting horses in the chat, especially the Rumble chat. They like
Was a
religiously
wash.
remember things that I say and hold me accountable for them in the future, which is not something I'm used to. I'm used to kind of just being able to say whatever. So this is-
You're trying to summon Vosh or Jake Huger or something.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Anyway, but this is okay. This is what I want to talk about. Now that my fucking camera's working again, this is what I'm talking about. This kind of like someone throws a narcissistic shit fit, and then our culture capitulates to them and their feelings. And it's like, yes, you're right. You were discriminated against. This totally innocuous thing that just kind of happened. It's not that you experienced the same mundane setbacks that every human experiences throughout their life in small doses periodically. No, what happened was you were victimized. And since you're a victim now, you're righteous and you get to be as rude as you want to anyone you want. And you get to stomp your foot until you get your way. And the right way to respond if you're a good person is to be obsequious and to bow down and be like, oh, I'm sorry, milady, and immediately capitulate, which, by the way, reinforces the behavior.
Yep.
These toddler tantrums are going to continue until people say no. Just no. Just no. You don't even have to be rude. It's more fun if you're rude, but you don't have to be. Right? You could just say, no, absolutely not. Be an adult. If you want free promotion, do it yourself. Your time is free to you. Do it yourself if you'd like to be promoted.
How
about that?
I disagree a little. I think you
Okay, go
have to
ahead.
be rude. Because
Okay, say
we
more.
just
I
got
do
the
too.
demonstration of, well, we tried to play it off with jokes to make it less awkward, and that didn't work. So then you capitulated. No, just come out and say, no, you're retarded. Here's the statistics. I don't fucking post the photos. Carry on. Have a nice day. That's about as nice as you have to be to those kind of people.
Well, especially because you guys are fucking comedians. The job of a comedian is to
Take
be
a fucking
crass
joke.
and funny.
Mhm.
If this was corporate or something,
Yeah.
like how come when HR posts the employee of the month, Maybe that kind of bullshit you could fly with this passive aggressive and then everybody else being a little passive aggressive. But in a community where you only regulate yourself, there is no reason that you shouldn't be like, bitch, it is a privilege for you to be on that stage. And it is even more of a privilege for you to hold that belt. Get your ass in line or go back to the kitchen. If you don't like what I have to say, then comedy's not for you.
Yeah.
That's Ursula's right. She's appealing to the HR department that doesn't exist. That's what's happening. And yeah. Allison Sanders in the chat. Yeah. That's the thing, is like she's appealing to the HR department of comedy, essentially. She's like, who do I file a complaint with about this discrimination? That doesn't. Here's the thing. What's so crazy about this is there is a lot of sexism in comedy, but sexism in comedy looks like, hey, let's go behind the club and suck my dick, and I'll give you 5 minutes of stage time when fucking Dave Attell comes to town. That's what sexism in comedy looks like. Like, it's ugly and it's gross and it's bad, and a lot of people have gotten hurt by it. And to fucking trivialize that shit with this like petty narcissistic bullshit, and to try to lump that into this is comedy, it's like, dude,
This ain't
dude, bad look. You do not have thick enough skin to do this. You just don't. Like, and by the way, all of these people are doing it for free. None of these people are paid. These are fucking weekend warriors or weekday warriors, as the case may be. They're out there doing this in addition to full-time jobs, just for fun, because they like to do it and they want to get better. And they are now there's like fucking 30 comments on that post, and there's gonna be more. It's probably gonna be over 100 by the end of the day. I posted this on Facebook, so somebody they could be watching this live stream right now. I fully expect this to be.
I hope they are.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, the fact that the guy like gave in and then posted her photo, I guarantee you that's not gonna make her happy either. It's gonna be, well, now you posted my picture. She's gonna,
Right.
she's not satisfied.
It is
fucking
never
woman
He
enough.
only did it because he got backlash.
Yes, it's never enough. It will never be enough. There's always more. They're all because they know that they can manipulate you that way. The only thing that stops them is the word no. And I think Gall is right. I think she might be right. Sometimes you need to say no in a way that they can hear. And sometimes these people really only speak the language of snark. They're not capable of having a sincere dialogue because they don't have any way to empathize with your position. They don't think you're a person. They think you're a perpetrator. They don't.
Also, she's a female comedian. She doesn't know snark. Come on. She only knows what Daddy says is cool.
No, well, and here's the thing. It's like this is, I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that, like, this is a discussion this is happened at 9 a.m, by the way. She woke up this pissed off. This is what I always talk about. She got up. She had, like, guarantee you didn't eat a balanced breakfast. She had fucking coffee and nicotine and went on her phone and just had an anxiety attack in the Facebook. She got triggered by the fact that she didn't get sufficient recognition.
How long after she got the stupid belt?
This probably happened Thursday. This probably happened Thursday night, I'm guessing. I don't know. I wasn't there. So
you know what you should have responded with?
Some random alpha Chad named Fetch Dixon put women run everything.
I love her.
What I want to know, what were the responses to him?
Oh shit, love! I look forward to finding out. This will be
women, I'm sure.
This is going to be a continuing story on Touchgrass. We're going to have to do follow-up.
What you should have responded with is, "I'm sorry your dad didn't go to your dance recital."
No, well, yeah, I mean, and that's really what this is about. But, like, here's the thing: like, my dad didn't go to my dance recitals either. That's why I'm a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
Recitals?
That's why we're all metaphorically.
No, I think you did. I would 100% believe if you did.
You know what? Nobody asked either of you. Anyway,
open the information. We didn't ask for it. You gave.
Doesn't matter. The point is, none of us got attention from our parents. That's why we're doing stand-up comedy. Nobody got. We're all this same narcissistic ball of insecurities and self-obsession that believes deep down we deserve attention, but also doesn't believe we deserve the attention. So we feel like we have to earn the attention by being funny, right? Like it's all the same shit, you know? Hey, I got a gifted 1 subscription from Mrs. Relify. Hey, Toasty! Toasty got it. What's up, girl?
Nice.
We love Toasty, friend of the
It's also
channel.
worth mentioning that there is a popular song literally about the fact that all comedians are narcissists who want more attention. Bo Burnham's,
Yes.
oh, what the fuck is the name of the song?
I Am an Artist, the artist one he does. Yes,
yeah,
that's true.
That's a
It's
good
true, and you're seeing it on display. This is like delusion. Like, how are you in any meaningful sense a victim? Like, how is this worth it? How are you justified in this just profoundly entitled way that you're acting right now? Like, how dare you? How dare you talk to people that are nice enough to give you an opportunity to do stand-up comedy? How dare you? Here's I was explaining this before we went live. Like, a stand-up comedy open mic is a liability. There's no reason any venue should do it. Every venue should do karaoke because it's the same equipment and it's way lower risk and way more people like to do it. You will make every venue that does a comedy open mic should just switch to karaoke. Because you'll make more money, you'll be better, it'll be more popular. And with a stand-up comedy open mic, it is literally a ticking time bomb until somebody says the hard R on stage. It literally is. You are counting down until something terrible happens and one of your customers is offended and walks out. There's no venue should do a comedy open mic. And yet they do all over the country. And it's a really nice, cool thing that they do. For us, we do that. And you need some comedian to show up consistently for free of his own time after he gets off work to fucking put on these open mics. Otherwise, they won't happen. Right? And you're bitching at the guy who makes all of this possible.
Right. Like, it doesn't make sense because now if he's fed up enough, he's just going to stop fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So then what? You're not going to get your fucking face and voice out there.
Right, exactly. And this only
victory for women, right?
Yeah, this is
More
congratulations
for men because I don't think anyone wants to listen or see her.
No, well, that's the thing. Call is so much meaner than me, but I'm gonna get in trouble for everything she says.
She's allowed to say it. That's the problem.
I was gonna say that's what
I am never working in this town again after this. It's over for me now. Here's the thing. They all knew that I thought this, but now they're really gonna find out what I think. Like they all suspected.
Yeah, you keep inviting me back.
That's
because you can get away with saying what he wants to, and a few other things.
Arza, I'm gonna need you to stop airing me out like this in public.
Quit trying to hide the fact you like it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna have to handle this. Sweetheart, we're gonna have to handle this at the end. This is getting anyway. Emerald, can we pull up just anything else to change the subject?
You know, this is a great. I was about to say this is a great segue to this topic right here.
All right.
I saw this the other day.
That's enough of that. That's enough of that.
So women can't act logically. So here's proof of that, starting at a young age.
Yeah. Oh man.
Babies wear diapers, and I'm not a baby. And you're wearing a diaper.
I just
Well,
love it.
babies wear diapers, and you're wearing a diaper.
He's just
Well,
so
I'm not a
lovable.
baby. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I meant you're wearing a diaper. I'm not a baby. You're wearing a diaper. I'm not a baby, though. Yes, you're wearing a diaper. Well, I'm not a baby. You're wearing a diaper. I'm not. Well, I'm not even a baby, though. But you're wearing a diaper.
There's so much foreshadowing here.
You're right.
Well,
You can't say
I
but.
didn't say real butts. Just pretend.
Can't believe she's trying to get him in trouble for saying a
Right,
word.
no,
There's
okay,
no
but
word.
this is
That's like
how
classic
men and women
women-
talk
yeah.
past each other. This is so illustrative because he's making a logical point that he thinks is dispositive and he's sticking to it. She is reacting badly emotionally to this.
Well, because she knows he's right and she's wrong, but she can't have that.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, so
and what's crazy, so when the yelling doesn't work and he stays on the point because he's like, I don't know why you're yelling, but I'm staying on the point, right? Then she switches to, you can't say that word, which if you've ever, as a man, argued with a woman and it's going well for you, she's going to tell you to fix your language. She's going to say she doesn't like your tone. This is like, this argument, this is so great because it's simple. So you can actually break down what's happening. And then when we scale this up, that's also how the adults interact too. And so, yeah, the guy is like, now there is some room for nuance here. Obviously, this child is a toddler, which is technically not a baby. Now, as a man in my 30s, it's a baby. But, you know, when you're a 5-year-old talking to a 3-year-old, these kind of distinctions are important, right? So I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I'm also the world's biggest white knight, and I'm literally the world's most giant pussy when it comes to giving women way too much credit. So, Gall, do you want to weigh in?
I mean, I just see that as most women don't mature past that level.
Yes.
No one can disagree with
Yes.
that.
Never
I said
getting-
most here.
I'm
Okay.
never getting booked again. It's never.
But it's fucking true. It is true. Even though she says the whole, you can't say that word, what it turns into, even though the maturity level stays there, women just turn it into, why aren't you as mad as I am? I need to start pressing your buttons until you start yelling, because then I can yell at you because I'm winning in that sense, because you're yelling at a woman.
No,
I also want to say,
100%
I don't know what for sure, but it definitely sets it up to sound like she's the one who made the connection of baby diaper, and then he just pointed out the fact that she was being hypocritical there.
You're wearing a diaper.
Right.
He's like, but poor guy. This is not going to be the first time he gets ambushed like this. But also, he's following the touch grass. But this is something I modeled on my show on the Romanticy episode. Sometimes you just have to stay there and stay calm while you're getting shrieked at.
Okay, but that's because
That's
you
what
enjoyed
happens.
it.
Would you? Okay,
I mean,
would we stop? Can we stop kink shaming me today? It's been a rough day already.
Technically, she's helping him because he's learning young that he needs to stay that calm, cool, and collected in every interaction he
Right.
has with a woman in hysterics like this.
Right. Well, and here's the thing: a lot of times,
Yeah,
men
and he's
will-
not backing down that he's right.
Yeah.
Which that's important, and this is what I'm saying is a lot of times, men, I think where they get fucked up is they try to match the emotional frequency of the woman they're talking to, and her emotional frequency is changing a lot because she's angry and sad. They're like feeling in color. Like men are just like, we got like 3 emotions, and they vary in intensity. Oh, what's up, Jerry? But women are all over the place. They're feeling multiple emotions at the same time.
Well, see, that's when I get to the point where like I just go back and forth on Facebook or like Instagram with logic until they're like, all right, I'm gonna block you. But even though they started it, like,
Well, you know,
you could stop responding to me. I'm like, but you're responding to me on my own comment. So, and then it just keeps going back and forth.
Jerry?
I put the little laughing emojis. They get mad at the laughing emoji that you even dare to put a laughing emoji on after anything they said. And then, you know what? You need to stop talking to me, and then block.
I mean, at least they were assertive enough to make sure that it didn't happen.
Right.
They fixed their own problem. in a
That's
way.
crazy. Yeah. Well, and this is like, this is what I'm saying is like the best way I think to handle it to preserve your emotional energy. You can't avoid these conflicts because we're seeing that in the world now. We just saw one. This is kind of like a scaled up version of that where this woman in the comedy thing, she was righteously indignant for a completely imaginary injustice. She's imagining that she's been victimized. She's been the victim of an imaginary hate crime that exists only in her mind. And she feels like the repeated attempts to tell her that there's reasonable explanations for why it might have happened and that it's happened to men. So it's not just a women only problem. It's happened to men too. So it's probably just like a thing that happens and it's probably okay. And we can all probably get over it and move past it. It's not a big deal. It's not a reason to be hysterical. But that's not enough for her. She's not accepting. And so I think a lot of men, when a woman is upset, they just and their heart rate gets up and they just feel like they have to do absolutely everything they can to fucking fix it and, you know, solve this negative emotional state that is manifested in front of them. They treat it like a fire to be put out. I think a lot of men react to a woman being upset the same way they'd react to like a grease fire in their kitchen, where they panic and they feel like they have to solve it right now or it's going to be a disaster. And that's just not how it is. You can just wait. If you don't like how a woman is feeling, wait 10 minutes. You know, she'll feel differently. You know, have you tried giving her a taco? I say this all the time. I don't know if you realize how many divorces have been avoided by a well-timed taco. I'm serious. Hold on.
You're just going to pull up that clip of a woman getting into a car and her boyfriend just stuffs a burrito in her mouth and gives her a drink so she stops talking.
No, but that sounds great. That's very on brand for me. Emotions.
All right, Theo is also into feeding. God damn it, man. You collect them like Infinity Stones.
Let's check in with the Rumble chat. Women's emotions are like a race car, fast, sippy, and done in a few hours. Men's emotions are like a battleship, big, lumbering, and you'll know when it goes off. That's pretty good. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, that's rad. But yeah, no, this is fun. But anyway,
no, not that bitch.
I've been talking a lot. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this next. You guys excited? I can tell Gall's already seen this, so we're excited. Okay, so let's actually just watch the clip. This is gonna be fun.
Yes, let's.
I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce, and I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like, on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me. Because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And this dynamic It doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family, despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship. And I can tell you now, 3 years later, that we are happier than ever.
All right, that's enough of this. Let's just cut it. We don't need to see the rest. Okay, so this is here's some important context. Here's some important context. Okay, they say they both work full time. She is a work from home full-time influencer. He is a high voltage lineman. You guys know what a high voltage lineman is?
Oh my fucking God.
Yes. And so she's
I was just gonna ask what her job was and what his
and here's
was.
the thing,
And I
not only
assumed
that
maybe she had an office job, but work
no.
influencer?
They have a full-time nanny, a full-time housekeeper, and a part-time pool boy. And a housekeeper and a pool boy. So all of her jobs.
She's fucking that pool boy.
Yeah.
What housework does she have to do then?
I was looking at the kitchen and I'm like, who afforded this house? Because I bet it was the husband's money. Not
Fat Sauce is here.
Hey,
what's up, buddy?
Fat Sauce, are you making sure that your wife isn't doing all of the unpaid labor in the relationship?
Yeah, it sounds like women are taking a lot of unnecessary mental loads.
Yeah, like he needs to be
unnecessary loads to the face.
Wow, my connection's horrible. Later, guys.
He probably doesn't even know that she even made the video. Like, if he did, like, hey, I'm too busy dying for make sure society runs.
Oh no!
I'm
sure he does know. This is a weak man. We can already tell.
I don't think so.
Because he's not asserting him. Like, I really think that. Come on, she does this for a living. I really think that he knows everything that's being said, and just because he keeps asking, well, what can I do more? He's probably
he's a lineman. He's coming home tired from doing some dangerous ass work, and she's just running her mouth like she's doing in the
And bear in mind, at the beginning, when he said, Gall, I'm going to get to you in a second. I see you, but I have to make this point. When he said, I didn't unload the dishwasher because I was late for work. And she's like, well, now I'm going to be late. She works from home, though, as a full-time influencer. So she's going to be late. She's going to be late to Instagram. That's what's happening. Gall, go ahead.
So when I first saw this, I didn't have that information. And I'm understanding what she's saying, and she mentions that she tells him this. I'm a big supporter of you need to communicate with each other for any relationship to work, whether it's a personal relationship, professional relationship, or just friendships, like significant other or otherwise. All relationships, communication is key here. And so she communicated it to him and he started doing those things. That doesn't mean that you just get to not do them and expect him to do them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But setting that aside, like give him some time to do those things, because I can understand how frustrating it can be when you're the only one that's doing it. Like, you know that the dishwasher is empty, put your fucking dishes in the dishwasher. It's not that big of a deal. So I understood where she was coming from with this, without having that information. And then she starts fucking talking about equity in the relationship and that whole late to work thing. Just do it. Like, he said that he was running late to work. Okay. I didn't know where she worked at the time. Oh, well. So he didn't do it that day. It's okay. Just fucking do it yourself. Stop bitching about it.
I want to push back on something Aaron said. You called him a weak man. He is not. I don't think he's a weak man.
His relationship.
I realized this the other day, and I tried to explain to my mom. Most men just don't want to be bothered. He is not weak. He simply does not want to be bothered after a long day of doing an actually dangerous job. Yeah. So he's going to do what his wife says because that will create the most peace. Well, not weak, so just a desire to be involved.
Let me push back on that. So his answer to not dealing with that or trying to, use the same technique that 5-year-old boy was using with his little sister and explaining that maybe it's not a good idea for me to wake up an extra hour early to do these simple tasks before going to my very dangerous job that supports our very, very blessed lifestyle.
See, but if he says that, then he has to deal with being bothered with her when it would be less bothering.
Then maybe he should be the one filing the papers and not her.
Oh, well, I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying he's not weak. That's all I'm saying.
I think
so being married to her.
Here's something that
guys really.
Yeah. Well, this is something that happens a lot of times for a lot of guys who are super macho end up getting totally just like steamrolled by their wives. It's actually pretty common because they haven't. I think it's this, and part of what causes this is the grease fire analogy that I used earlier. So a man views like his woman, like expressing a concern for him as a crisis to be solved. He spends all day solving problems. He knows how to deal with that. And a lot of guys, they don't want to be tyrannical. It feels like mean or bad to say no to your wife. It feels like you're, being a bad husband if she's coming to you with like genuine emotional concerns. I think it's really possible that he's strong and badass at his job, and then he comes home and he thinks that the path of least resistance in his marriage is to be spineless.
Right.
And that's what he's looking for, like ours is saying. He's looking for the path of least resistance within that relationship. What he doesn't understand is that his path of least resistance and being spineless is actually creating way more problems downstream. That may solve the problem today, but it's going to, this insecurity is going to beget more insecurity. What he needs to do is have like sensible boundaries. Cause a lot of the stuff that they talk about, like, okay, is it
because she clearly doesn't respect him at all?
No. Obviously, if she's talking about the shit on social media, now if she came to him only in private and we didn't have the social media component, we might have a discussion about whether or not there's respect in the relationship. But the fact that she's airing this shit out publicly shows that she does not like this dude at all.
She doesn't give all the information either.
And he's perfect on paper.
Right. That means he's not hot enough for me. That's what that means.
He does everything, but just not quite enough more. And I've also noticed whenever a woman that's married to a man uses the term partner, there's a huge imbalance of power there. The guy is down here and she is up here in almost every circumstance. And you don't see that as much as with married couples that refer to each other as husband and wife. They are usually more on an equal partnership.
Well, the reason they use partner is so they can do the 80-20 rule. One partner does 80% of the work, and the other one gets 20% gets 80% of the credit.
I don't like when married couples call each other partners. I think it's weird.
No, it's retarded.
See, when I do it, I just assume that they're gay.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Absolutely. I mean, when you think partner, what do you think? I instantly think gay couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the gay dog whistle.
So with her, I was in line with what she was saying until after her story of like, I talked to him, I explained the things that he could do to help her out a little. Like that was to me, like that was fine enough, especially because I didn't have the full idea of what his job was versus her job. And she is reliant upon that. She doesn't explain that situation to anybody. She just says, we're both full-time, whatever, like go fuck yourself now that I know. But to that point, I was just like, okay, this makes sense because you communicated the issues that you were having instead of just expecting him to know without you telling him, because that is a common thing with women. You have to be able to read my mind. Why should I have to tell you? I hate that mindset. And so I was glad that she brought it up to him and they had this discussion. But immediately after she says that, well, he started doing these things and sometimes he'd forget. She immediately put it back on him. Oh, well, he was forgetful or he wasn't doing it all the time. There was no immediate change. So I'm mad about it. And it's a negative on him again. That's where she started losing me. I'm like, bitch, it's not just going to be this magical switch. And especially now that I have the further information as to what he's fucking doing all day and what she's doing all day, go fuck yourself. Kindly.
Let's also not forget that men don't really do the mental checklist. A man's going to focus on like 3 to 4 tasks. If you say, I need you to do 20 things, he might remember the first and last one, but he's not going to remember the rest of them. At the very least, you could have done it in a way like write it on a board or something. So there was at least a way he could actually realistically remember.
But that's emotional labor. You're increasing her mental load, Arza.
You're right.
I'm not
unpaid labor.
I'm not saying this to be negative on men, but you have to kind of treat them like children.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's
I do. We do that to y'all too. We do that to y'all too. So it's
in different aspects. Yeah.
It's for different. Right. Exactly. No, you're right.
Like that, doing those tasks, having a whiteboard where like this day is trash day. This is when we need to take the trash out, or like clean the fucking dishes or whatever. Like men can be task oriented. So give them those tasks and write them down so they know, because you guys can't multitask in the same way that a woman can.
Yeah, when she always starts a sentence with "Did you remember to?" I know the answer is no, and there's something I forgot to do, and God bless her for it.
Wait, my headsets just went out. What did you say?
I said whenever you start a sentence with "Did you remember to?" I know the answer is no.
That's usually like, that's not even like to do with like chores though. It's more like
no, it could be anything.
Did you like, I want to know that you fed the dogs before I feed them again so they don't get fat. You know, that sort of thing. The cool part about our relationship is like, we don't do honey-do lists, like, you know, oh, honey do that, honey, like we just split it in the sense of like, oh, hey, I did the dishes.
Who has more bandwidth at the time, and keep it fair.
He does the laundry, and then we switch, and then it's, you know, walking the dogs.
Yeah, I can do the laundry while I work.
Right. While I do like the dishes or walk the dogs or take care of the dogs, whatever. It's easily split. It doesn't have to be this big thing, you know.
Yeah.
And also this whole he doesn't know what to put in the kids' bags or whatever. Again, write that shit down. But also, that's a woman thing. Like, stop it. I don't know how old all the kids are. Maybe teach the kids that they need to pack their own fucking bag. But also, women carry around purses. It drives me batty because I always forget purses everywhere. So I have something that is literally attached around my hip and my leg. My mom always had everything. She was that woman. She had tissues, she had Band-Aids, like all of that type of stuff. And that's a mother thing, because you know that something's going to happen to the kids. And it doesn't really stop once the kids get older for most women, or some women, or just my mother, whatever. They always have those things. That's not a man's. Men, first of all, men don't carry purses. So why would they even think along those lines?
Well, Theo does.
Well, listen.
Here's what on the manhood.
It's a satchel.
Thank you. Thank you, Iron, for defending me. This is what I'm saying. Like, so also, this is what I always tell. Girls, hold on. I'm literally getting a house whiteboard because my memory is bad enough to write legends about. Be smarter than anger. Very good advice, Rogue Nerd. So this is what I'm saying. Like, what I always say to women when it comes to stuff like, why didn't you do this long list of tedious bullshit that I feel like I need to do? Because here's the thing. You can show me the stuff you want me to do, but it's never going to bother me the way it bothers you. Like, I'm going to be okay emotionally if it doesn't get done, and you're not, right? But your neuroticism is not my responsibility. Like, at some point, you need to just be okay with the fact that, like, not every neurotic thing on your imaginary checklist needs to be done exactly perfectly. Some things need to be done at a C+ level. Some things don't need to be done at all, right?
Are you okay that it was done at all, though? Like, that's the other part of it. Yeah. I am OCD as fuck about certain things. And I had kids in my house a while ago, and I had to show them multiple times how to put the silverware in the proper spots, or where to put things in the dishwasher. And I would show them multiple times, and it would frustrate the shit out of me, but I didn't take it out on them. I was glad that the dishes were done already, because sometimes they'd come up to me, I'm so sorry, I forgot to do this. I'm like, honey, thank you for doing the dishes. Next time, try and remember, but thanks for doing it at all. There's at least there's give and take here.
Right. I think what this relationship has is a lack of gratitude and an abundance of entitlement. Because
I'm sorry, Gal. If we were in the same house, I'd be like, okay, they go in the cupboard, they just put all the plates and shit in the cupboard. Forks and knives, they'll be in a mixed pile together. Like, I'm like.
also, like, by the way, why is it bad to eat with your hands? Can somebody explain to me?
Depends what you're
why
eating.
it's bad to eat with your hand. I feel like silverware makes extra dishes. I think with like,
are we
paper
talking
plates and
pizza
hands-
or spaghetti here?
I have a follow-up question
anything.
to that.
Eat a soup.
Do you wash
Just eat
your
a
hands
soup.
off after you?
Yeah,
touch
that's
your
what I
dick?
was. That's what I'm coming in. Is because the whole point is we know about your history, and you
Well, he
will
doesn't
be
wipe, so his hands are going to be.
I
clean.
wash my hands when I feel like I need to.
Okay,
And-
so you're okay eating your own dick cheese.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Oh, if you're okay with
to defend him there, men generally, at least the good ones, I can't say that Theo does, but most men keep their dicks clean.
Right. Yeah, I'm very careful about where I put my dick. Very
Here's
selective.
the thing. I keep mine is always clean
pride
enough
myself
that
on my
I
cock
would
hygiene.
be okay. I would be okay eating off of it because it's that clean. How else would I expect someone to suck on it?
Pause. Vagabond, you seem like an experienced cocksman. Dick cheese, yay or nay?
Nay.
Okay.
See, I was just about to ask this question. So you wipe it off with toilet paper after you piss?
No, actually, this is part of a larger discussion that's
Like-
spanned multiple shows now.
Like,
I don't
after
think
you
toilet
do-
paper is necessary. I actually think it's a social construct imposed on us by propaganda from big paper. You don't need it at all, actually. You
So
just
you
go
don't
in there.
want he has
You
this
just go in
belief?
there and hashtag hose it out. Let's get
Well,
a hashtag hose it out in the chat.
I'm team bidet, whatever.
Exactly.
His belief is deeply rooted in his deodorant use as well.
No,
That's
I
great.
used one at a Korean sauna. I was like, oh well, shit. Maybe I should
Yeah,
get
dude.
one of these.
Yeah, dude. Like once you try the hose it out life, you're not going back, dude.
I'm sorry, Bat Sauce. It's not that hard to make a spoon out of your hand for that
See,
question.
Thank you. See, Gull gets me. That's why she gets invited.
I've went to those medieval shows before where
Yeah.
you eat with your hands
See,
and you
if-
watch
if
dudes
you
like
do
try
fucking jousting.
everything, you can
Well-
eat anything with your hands.
Bad Sauce
Right.
has 2 children, and he's asking how you would eat mashed potatoes.
I'm pretty sure they've demonstrated it.
Look,
Well, 'cause,
That is like the first thing you give a baby is mashed potatoes so they can have fun while they eat it.
look,
No,
They
all
pick
food.
it up and throw it.
Like if you're eating like Middle Eastern or like I could eat at Ethiopian
Couscous.
restaurants and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
yes.
there is no silverware. You just you take the little bread shit and scoop it up and eat it with your hands.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be my
They
solution.
do that because they don't have the ability to make silverware.
Well, they do. Like they got like knives and stuff. But the thing is, everyone washes their hand. They make sure everyone washes their hand. You specifically eat with your right hand. I don't know about you left-handed people. And then your left hand has like your utensil for like wiping your mouth, your hand clean or whatever.
Nice. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So if my neurotic cunt wife was like, why don't we do the dishes more? I'm going to be like, how about this? We get rid of silverware. We're eating with our hands now. How about that?
No,
Doing Dixie plates and all food is finger food if you're brave enough. That's what
No.
I say.
I'm just
So
the
I'm a
person where
huge
it's like
fan of disposable.
Um,
Everything.
I'm just like if I use silverware, like you know how there's like different size spoons and stuff. I'm not like trying to separate the size spoons. I just toss them in the spoon pile because that's where the
Yeah.
spoons.
Here's the thing. I only own one
Gal's
kind of
becoming concerningly quiet hearing you describe your silverware drawer.
There is just something that I do afterwards. Like, thank you for doing the dishes. Fix all of this.
So wouldn't it be better though if we just ate with our hands and you just didn't have to worry about the silverware drawer anymore for the rest
Once
of your
again,
life? Wouldn't
Theo,
that make
I'd
you
love to
happier?
see you. I'd love to see you do that with like a zupa or another kind of. Do that with a clam chowder, please.
You just drink it out of the bowl, buddy. I mean,
That
I'm
was
one
true.
step ahead of you, bro. Like,
I,
you
I
just-
mean, I see
then
what
you
you're
still have to
saying,
clean that
Theo, but
away.
at the same time, like I do a lot of stuff with my hands. So like I'm always working
Constantly.
outside, touching cars, doing some random shit with animals and shit. I probably just want some silverware still.
Static is right though. He says in the chat, tortillas are edible plates. That is very
bingo.
true.
That's
We
true.
do everything with tortillas. Now we don't even need a
what I'm
silverware
talking
drawer.
about.
We
There
can
you
put
go.
like video games and shit in there.
Like we
You're
all go to
welcome.
Theo's house.
You see how good I am at making you happy, Gall? You see
Instead
how
of
good I am at
bowls.
solving your problems?
Instead
welcome.
of bowls, he's using bread bowls
Thanks.
and shit.
Bread bowls, tortillas,
Boom.
and then
Boom.
deep fry your. Somebody mentioned mashed potatoes. Turn them into fucking tater tots.
That's right.
Problem solved.
Fuck tater.
No, mashed potatoes are fantastic.
Baked potatoes.
What?
I like
Tater tots
tater
are awful.
tots.
No, mash is the best way to eat a potato.
No, baked
Like,
potato.
I think you
No,
bake it
that's
and
the
then just
worst.
eat
That
it.
Actually,
is the
potato
worst.
soup, if we're getting very technical.
Yeah. I
No,
love
soup's
potato
overrated.
If
Beef
Oh, I'm
McDonald's
gonna throw
sells
some
burgers
controversy
all
in
day-
here. Potato salad, man, on the
Oh,
on
no.
summer.
I'll give you potato salad, but
Do
you're
you
not
put
really
onions
eating
in your
potato
potato
salad
salad?
for
'Cause-
potatoes.
No, hell no.
Yes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
hell
okay.
no.
Then, okay.
No.
Your
No
terms
onions
might
for
be
me.
acceptable.
No.
Yeah.
If there's no
That's
onions,
not
then we're good.
really potatoes. You're eating it's a salad. Come on, it's not a potato.
Okay.
It's made of
Yeah,
potato.
no, you're right. I gotta agree with you. Then I think baked potato because it's so versatile. You can put so much. I've been on keto for 2 months, so this conversation
miss
is gonna
potatoes
last
so much,
as long
dude.
as I need it to.
Here's the thing, though. Baked potatoes, rarely does the flavor get deep enough in the potato. Like, you're not going to taste the butter. You're not going to taste the salt most of the time.
Do you
And
not
a
know
mashed
how to
potato-
eat a proper baked potato?
Yeah. Do
What, you
not
just
put
cut it
butter on
open and eat it? What's wrong with you, fool?
Well, I put the shit in it, but it doesn't penetrate.
Yeah.
Doesn't get into the
That
potato.
motherfucker.
What the fuck?
Twice
dude?
bake it.
You don't even like poke holes in it and then it melts.
I've tried that. It does not suffice for the baked potato.
Not like
Somebody
you
show
cut
this
it.
man how to make a baked
you-
potato.
You put a layer of butter on top with the little chive shit.
Yeah.
Chad, can you find a video of how to make a proper baked potato and post
There
it,
you go.
please?
Look,
Just
okay,
so
my
Arza-
parents make baked potatoes all the time, and I've gotten into arguments with my parents over baked potatoes because I think they're overrated.
And so,
I'm
can
still-
you guys
I'm still
post a link
shocked
to
that
a baked
y'all
potato
doesn't
recipe
like
and
potato
some family
sauce.
therapy for
I don't
Arza?
like the consistency.
Why?
No.
It's so
Yukon
crunchy.
Gold mashed potato is best.
Oh, you found the
Really like
video.
Nice.
Oh no.
I thought I
this is
told you to park on the other side. Why every time I
So this is the same video, different
alright.
woman and food. But all right.
No, well, have you guys there's a video.
the other day when I told you
Like I know this is fake, obviously, but if this happened to me, I wouldn't be mad.
no.
Right?
Like
Like this is staged, but it's
No, this
every
is
dude's gonna have like, oh, she's about to yell at me, so let me like bake up some food.
that you
real
see
quick.
how she's
Emerge.
walking up to the car and everything. She's pissed off just with her gait. Yeah, just
Just
have
your
food
emergency
ready.
bag of Lay's.
That's well. Here's so I remember one time I was so I had a girlfriend who was like really volatile. Like she would like hit me and throw shit at me, and sometimes light things on fire if she really got turned up. And
you
we were
just
riding
say
around,
thank you afterwards.
we were riding around in the car one time, and she was looking like she was getting ready to swing, like she was fuming, and I just aborted where we were going, redirected to, and then I pulled up and parked in front of Wingstop, and I looked at her, and she was like, "Lemon pepper."
Now, have you guys seen the
Fixed
video of this woman who's getting really mad because her either her husband or housemates won't leave the light on in the appropriate state for her liking? She leaves in the middle of the day screaming, and she yells at the Ring camera, "If you're the last one out, turn off this goddamn light." And then she comes back at night and is like, "It's dark as fuck out here. Who the fuck turned off the light? I can't see how to get into the house."
Oh my god.
Right. And that's
Wait,
so
is
that's
she talking
kind of
about an outdoor light?
yeah.
Yeah, like a porch light.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
with
we're
Gal.
talking about. How there actually is no placating these people. It can't. Like it won't. There's nothing you can
That's
do to make them happy. You actually just have to say no. That's it.
See, I thought you were talking about a light inside. So like you leave the room, you shut the light off. Duh. But no, then you said she couldn't get in the house. What the fuck? That's why that light is there. You leave it on for when you come back.
She's just looking for something to complain about, actually.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Her real complaint is that she wishes she was married to someone hotter. That's actually the complaint. But she can't. You can't say be hotter and richer. You can't say that. It's be hotter and richer and have more time for me. You can't say that to a man. It's rude. And also, the other thing too is like if you want to try to drum up some sympathy for these women, which I think we should because they're our fellow humans. They don't understand why they're like this. They don't understand why they're upset, and they actually do think the things they're saying will make them happy. They don't understand that they're wrong. They have no idea why they're so unhappy. They keep doing feminism. It keeps ruining their lives, and they think the answer is more feminism. They haven't made the connection that they need to get off the ride yet, and they don't have the cognitive bandwidth to do it. That's all. I opened.
Remember that comment I said about the maturity level kind of stopping at that previous video?
I do.
Man, I knew some crazy women that had the temper tantrum of a toddler. Where
That's
like
because they just don't mature.
pound their feet, tossing shit, whatever. I was like, man, a friend of mine, I was like, damn, you can't do shit. I seen this chick like toss the baby stroller out from the balcony of my friend's house because she couldn't figure out how to put the little stroller shit together. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that'll solve your problem.
Yeah, but by the way, the friend got out of it. He passed away.
Bro, listen. My buddy's baby mama, she has 4 baby daddies, and 2 of them killed themselves. That's a position with a 50% survival rate. That's what I'm saying. That's tough. Yeah. This girl is hard to deal with. So that's a real thing, man. Pour one out for the homie, but good for him for getting out.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, because I was staying with him for a minute. I was like, I wonder what happened to him. So I just typed in his name. I seen a police report. I was like, damn.
Oh no.
But that's what I'm saying. Those are the ones that did not mature past that 3-year-old in a diaper.
All right. Speaking of
Aaron, I'm sending you that clip that I just mentioned. If you want to show the lovely.
Oh yeah, throw that up, and then I'm sending Emerald one right now. So after we show yours, we'll show the next one.
Wait, did I say the right name? Whose name did I say?
Iron.
You said Iron.
I meant to say Emeralds.
Okay, said Emerald.
Being named after minerals. Damn it.
There we go.
Stop leaving the light on. If you're the last person to leave, turn it off. I can't see anything. The porch light was on.
You know what is even more funny about that? That bitch is holding her phone in her hand. All she had to do was set her shit down.
Well, the thing that annoyed me was like she's holding her laptop. I seen women do it all the time where they just grab everything. I'm like, don't you have a purse in your bag that you
fuck you very much. What did I just say earlier about the fucking purses? Set it down. You have
there's
a porch.
There's a wonderful solution to prevent this from ever being necessary. A fucking backpack. I don't care if you think it looks dumb.
It's just
yeah. This is important. So this is another way in which this makes Gal's point that women actually don't grow up past a certain point. So if we pull this up, so this is like have an idea for making the United States safer. So this is a public safety measure. We should look at the neighborhoods with the highest crime rates and place a new small library at the center of these areas. Imagine if we opened 500 new libraries, 10 in each state, in the areas that need more support, community, and safe spaces. Now,
as a black person that's in the black neighborhoods, so if the parents ain't reading books, the kids ain't reading books. I'm sorry.
Look, all I'm going to say is we're going to add a lot of free resources for people to wrap their blunts around in. Lots of free paper.
And she reacted so badly when people criticized this proposal. She was like, oh, yeah? Well, what's your idea? It's like, I don't fucking know. Not giving them a free building to burn down maybe would be a good start.
Before fully reading this post, I thought this was going to be something like put library sign on your door so you'll be left alone. Is that bad of me?
Oh,
her heart's in the right place. It's just, certain groups of people don't read books, and it shows.
Have you seen like video of these black kids trying to spell words?
No, well, here's the issue. This is the issue. This is a point I'm trying to make. There's a lot of women whose politics are giving unlimited free shit to everyone forever. They think of the United States government as having a bunch of snacks, and they think of the citizens as a kid's birthday party, and they think everyone should get the same number of fruit snacks. And that's how they think government works. And this is that thinking scaled up. So
this is their problem. They think government works.
Yes, well,
Stop
they right, exact bingo. Like they don't understand that in order for people to be self-sufficient, you have to stop getting into the way of their pain. And
Well, women don't like accountability, and that's what
No.
self-sufficiency is.
right, and a prerequisite for self-sufficiency is becoming accountable to yourself. And what they think is that the reason people are murderers is because they haven't had enough fruit snacks from the government yet. So she's like, here, have free access, because she's thinking about herself as a little girl and how she used to go to the library for summer reading or whatever, and she had a great time staring at the drag queen's dick or whatever they do. I don't know. I wasn't Gen Z, so I don't know what happened, but she had a great time looking at this drag queen's foreskin poking out of his dress, and she had a fond memory of that. She's like, hey, if we could show drag queen foreskin to more black youths, they might not grow up to shoot each other. Right. And so that's her way of looking at the world, is if we could just make them gayer and more literate and expose them to musical theater, then they wouldn't do as much murdering. And that's just not how things are. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's just not how things are. Like, even if we had the resources to do this, that's not how we should use those resources. We'd be better buying Kevlar or bullets. Or
you know what you really need to do? Instead of opening a library, you open a nice little center where men can act as role models for disenfranchised boys. That's how you would spend state money to reduce crime in these areas.
Oh shit. But that would well, I mean, I think this is what we've been talking about with the continuing discourse on the Netflix show Adolescence, which we started a couple of weeks ago on this show. They don't understand that a lot of these problems are downstream of feminism. They think the problem is masculinity itself and that the solution is more feminism. They don't understand that their ideas are causing it. The idea of encouraging men to act with self-confidence is terrifying to them because they just hate the masculine, you know, because their dad left or whatever, or was like mean or was dismissive or wasn't macho enough. It's some combination of the two. He fucked up and he was inadequate in some way. It's amazing how many of these feminist chicks had just totally like pussified, checked out dads, like not even like tyrannical, abusive ones. He didn't bail. He was there. He just was kind of limp-wristed, you know? That was crazy.
Gay dads make bad women. Confirmed.
Yes, dude. I'm telling you. Be a good father. Fathers are important. W's in the chat for fathers. And W's in the chat for daddy issues too.
For a DILF?
I was setting up the daddy issues bit. You just gotta, I don't know. We gotta get our rapport together, Arza. You gotta know when I'm not done yet.
Well, I'm improving your jokes now.
Thank you, Gal. See how she did that? You see how that added to the conversation? You should take some notes.
The only thing mine didn't, because you were the target of it.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy. You guys are God. The panel's just bullying me today.
I love when I always find like a bully buddy on this.
Vagabond. It's not usually like this. Usually they respect me, but today is the day for some reason that
we usually
honestly,
respect hosts, but only on other shows.
When you asked me here, I thought we were doing the debate.
No, not yet. I'm gonna do a big group chat for that. So we are, Gal. You should know we are gonna host the Great Feet debate. We are going to do that. It's going to be feet, hot or not. You're going to be invited. It was Vagabond's idea, so he's definitely going to be invited.
Is there going to be hentai? God damn it!
It's going to be.
To do with hentai.
No, honestly. Well, listen. It's going to be whatever comes up in the debate. Now, I'm going to moderate it, and then I'm just going to have a few on all sides, and we're just going to duke it out, and we're going to get an answer.
Do I need
as long as the moderator shows his hands the entire time.
That's not part of the deal. You're just gonna have to deal with that. That's the issue. Yeah, and we're just gonna have to come up with whatever evidence we need to, whatever pictures or videos you need to show. Don't worry about it, buddy. We're gonna be on Rumble.
I think you need to invite Static now.
Excellent. Yeah, so we're gonna have to.
To be clear, Gal, the reason why he won't show his hands isn't because of the feet discussion. It's because if you can't see a man's hands, they are there. Don't worry.
That's true. I can say that
on their dick or just in existence.
So you know when you drive and you rest your hand on the gear shift, or you know what I do?
I do know that. Yes,
the dick is a gear shift.
Right.
I drive a manual. I'm aware.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then you know how to treat it. Got it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, not many people drive manuals. So I was like, nice.
I'm just talking about the commentary on a manual transmission.
Yeah,
guys.
that's right. She's not bragging about her stick handling skills at
I
all.
would never.
Fine. It's not.
I used to drive.
You look like yeah, you look like you got a strong grip. I like that. All right. Anyway, sorry, forgot you guys were here. All right, let's do another. Let's do another one.
Theo just had to ask if we were live.
Hold on, and then
Are we live?
this is hold on. This is actually.
Oh
let me
shit,
find out.
we're live. When did he do
All
that?
right. By the way, I was able to go live by surprise this time, and Vagabond did not shit his pants and ruin the conversation. He just kept talking like a normal person. Crazy.
I don't think he noticed, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I did look up at the corner.
All right, Emerald, I'm indicating which one I want you to pull up to. This is actually important because I brought up the adolescence discourse. So a lot of what we're talking about is how badly men are and how men are toxic and men have been radicalized and men are the problem. And this made a really interesting point. The real lie of Netflix adolescence is to say that men are the ones who've been most impacted by social media. If you look at the data, if we could actually pull up these charts here, it's women like men.
Are they
like,
doing the meme?
Yeah, that's like
Women
it's
most
like.
affected?
Yeah, so this social media. Can you go to the next one? Because this is the one I want to show. Women are on social media way more, and they're the ones who, with the exception of South Korea, which has a little bit different history, in the West, it is women who have gotten stupendously more left. Like way, way, way more. And so we're talking about men's radical shift towards the right. I was working on this in the shower this morning. I have the 20 years ago test that I kind of do mentally. And Iron, you can maybe talk about this. If you had the politics you had today, 20 years ago, would they treat you like you were a crazy person?
Absolutely not, because I haven't changed really much in 20 years. Maybe a little bit on a few things, but not really. 20 years ago, I was just considered a left-leaning, center left quasi-liberal.
Yeah. I'd say I'm probably like, if I had the views I had right now 20 years ago, I would be considered a pretty conservative Catholic who votes in a live and let live pattern. Right. That would so that's not a super easy
center right, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I would have been a normal guy. Now, take the views of the average millennial or Gen Z woman and move them 20 years ago. Gender is a social construct. Children need to be surgically and hormonally transitioned to the other gender. And if you don't do it, you're denying them a human right. Also, men and women need to play sports together. Like, okay, if you took those views, right?
Well, the real
back
problem
in
you
time,
saying that women deserve
that
to play
fucking
sports.
puppy play in public is fine. That fucking pride parades. Like, if you took all that shit 20 years ago, how would they have reacted to it? Are you a normal person or are you fucking batshit insane? And I'll tell you, yeah, outside of the context of a few gender studies departments at a few elite universities, you would have been treated like a crazy person. Yep. And even then, to say that denying genital mutilation to children is somehow a violation of their human right is just it's
laughable.
That's right. So detached from reality. And to suggest that out loud, like I'm never gonna work in this town again after this podcast. But
it used to be, children were children. Some kids will play with whatever toys are available. Yep. Some kids you'll find girls that like playing with the race cars and climbing trees. You'll find boys that'll play house with the little girls when they're in that age group. Just whatever.
Yeah, that's me and Doll, respectively.
Exactly. And all of that was just a healthy part of childhood development. Now it's a sign of something else. And usually only the mothers can tell. Mothers and doctors are the only ones that know for sure. And no matter the child's age, they can then start leading them down that path of just complete destruction and chaos.
Yeah. How many
that would have been considered child abuse and crazy.
Yeah,
it was like on the other end of, if you would see if some some fucking overbearing, right-leaning dad catches the boy playing with the baby dolls with the little sister, is gonna whoop some ass. Yeah. Now, it's like, no, they're just kids. Just let kids be kids. That shit grows out. The girl playing with the race cars could grow up to be prom queen, and some of them do. Or the boys could end up, playing football. They're fucking toddlers. It doesn't fucking matter. Now all that shit is being affirmed and being assigned to these very binary, gender specific roles that we used to think was a bad thing. The tomboys are now trannies. The kids the boys that are a little sensitive, well, they're girls actually. No.
Well, it looks like the the pink hat mafia came after Theo, and he disappeared.
Yeah, he just got lynched.
Yep.
Oh, no. I didn't even notice he was gone.
Don't tell Theo.
No, not like that.
He's probably still talking.
I guess I should.
Yeah, he
message
probably
him
has
later.
no idea.
Well, he doesn't check his thing actually.
Honestly, thank God that these views were not around 20 years ago, because 20 to 30 years ago at this point, because as most of you, actually all of you probably except Arza, may be drunken. No. And you can probably infer just by this one stream. I'm a fucking tomboy. And if these belief systems were there back then, holy fuck, I would be screwed and probably not alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're not the only one. Gina said, I was a tomboy and have background in construction, but I'm very feminine.
Yeah. In the Marines, when I joined the Marines, all I wanted to do after boot camp was get my nails done, my hair done, and wear dresses and skirts and heels and shit, because I was done being a boy for 3 fucking months. Just straight.
I knew some guys too where they only had sisters. Or whatever, and so they kind of pick up the mannerisms and stuff of their sister or whatever.
Yeah,
but they still do girls or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
They'll
I know
branch
plenty
out,
of that are sensitive as hell, and and a little more artsy and all that, and they're straight as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm totally gonna get bullied here, but I don't give two shakes of a rat's ass about that. When I was younger, there was both a period of time where I had thought about being either non-binary or a girl or whatever, just times when I was younger. And I thought about it. The reason I've never did the non-binary bullshit is I stopped for a second and realized every single non-binary person is cringe as fuck, and I don't want to be cringe.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So that happened when I was 14. That happened when I was 15. And I said, they're all cringe as fuck, so I don't want to be that. And then I just never did that. And then
I'm going to ask a personal question. How much of that, what you were feeling at the time, could have just been part of your natural state of mind? Oh, fuck, I'm gone.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to the screen?
Oh, you can hear me? Okay,
Yeah,
I was going to say.
Wait, am I still here?
Yes,
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
You disappeared.
What I was going to say, if you were at that really difficult age, how much of what you were feeling could have just been part of that stage in your life and going through all the hormones, changes, emotional
100% of it was.
bullshit.
Yeah.
So that all started when I was about 11. That's when things started, and things ended when I was 15, 16 mostly. And it was 100% because I was going through puberty. I had a twin sister who was also, I was exposed to much more feminine energies, quote unquote, growing up. And I've thought about it, and I've used this as an argument as to why we should never affirm. If I had come out and done any of that as a child, I would not be alive today. I would have killed myself.
No.
I know that for 100% fact.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
I'm on the live chat. I don't even see myself. Oh, now we don't see Arza.
What the fuck is going on? What the
I
fuck
can
is
see
going
Arza.
on?
I still
don't
can't
know.
see Iron.
Static says he can't
God
see
damn.
iron. He can
Yeah.
see iron.
What the fuck is going on? Jesus Christ.
I'll leave and come back.
Are the Langoliers coming from us? Who fell asleep on the plane?
Oh shit! The camera now. Selena's
Now
absorbed
Selena's
into
cut in
Arza's.
half. Ours is
What the fuck is going on?
no idea.
There are
damn it.
still
All right. I'm gonna leave
deep-seated childhood secrets.
I'm
So,
gonna leave and come back, and we'll see if that.
It was when you came back that everything went.
Yeah, everything was working fine, and then you came back.
Okay, you sound just like my parents over the holidays. This is completely unacceptable.
So Arza, the reason that I asked like how old you were is because I was wondering like if you were raised within like the last 10 to 20 years, because like I'm mid-30s here. I don't even know if Arza's still here. Say hello.
I am still here. Don't worry, I'm
cool.
still here.
And so I was wondering if it was just like being a product of the time, because even 30 years ago when I was growing up, like I had thoughts of like hating the fact that I was a woman. I never thought of like non-binary anything because it really wasn't something I even heard about, let alone would think of on my own as a child. But when I was younger, like I hated just being a chick. This is so trippy, but I'm still gonna keep talking. I can see
I
ours
replaced Selena.
Holy shit. Like this is so weird because it keeps changing. I can't, but like I grew out of those things is like my ultimate point. Like it took me being hi.
What the fuck? This is deeply unsettling. I'm not enjoying this at all. What is going on? What is going on?
I don't know. Ever since you came back to the stream, it's just one person is not showing up on screen.
Well, Gal, I was gonna ask him the same question because it's like I don't think non-binary stuff wasn't part of my childhood at all.
Yeah,
no, because it's not real. It's not real. It is so I'm coming also from a psychology background because I've been studying psychology for the last 4 years. I'm graduate in the spring. Yippee for me. And the thing is, gender anxiety, it's puberty anxiety is so utterly common. And one of the main side effects of puberty anxiety is gender dysphoria to a slight degree. It is a completely normal thing that kids from every generation has experienced. The problem is 97%, if up to 99%, will grow out of it. It is a natural course. In fact, psychologist Eric Erickson has a specific thing known in his stage of development. The puberty stage is identity versus role confusion. If you succeed the stage, you become you learn about your identity. And if you fail the stage, you end up utterly confused as to who you are and who you're supposed to be, including your gender.
So, I hate psychology, but I will set that aside.
I do too. That's why I'm studying it.
I mean, that's a way to look at it. All right, I respect
well,
that.
Theo's here. I hear him, but I don't see him.
Oh, I see Theo. I don't see Arza.
I don't see Arza.
Here, do you want to just try, Emerald? Do you want to try kicking people and then just rebuilding the room? See if that fixes it.
Yeah, ours is gone on this stream.
I think if we do that, we end up killing the stream. If we boot everyone,
Am I here?
Arza, just leave completely and come back, and then you should show up.
All right, I'm gonna do that. We'll see if that fixes it.
Should I do it too?
Fucking terrible.
I mean, I
no,
see
you're
you.
there.
there went Vagabond. All right.
I don't see.
There's still a missing space on this side of me.
Missing spot.
See, I think I'm supposed to be that missing spot then.
God damn.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you're still here.
Well,
I wasn't sure if you left.
In that case, let's see. And I can't move Theo into the blank spot so we can get rid of him again.
Because I think I'm in the blank spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, you're the blank spot.
And it's always been the blank spot is that specific location.
Okay, and then it says ours is back. Let me try something too.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hey guys, question: did it open a second stream tab for you guys?
No,
I haven't left and come back.
Because it actually opened a second tab for the stream for me.
Oh.
Okay.
No. So we're having such a good conversation, and now
I
we get
know.
plagued by
But still, to continue
after.
that conversation, like
Yeah.
one of the things, like with me personally, and I feel like it's something that everyone may or may not have gone through, whatever, like in those situations, is so like when I was growing up, the topic of the time, if you will, was more feminist agenda type of stuff, where I didn't. Because of how old I was, I didn't want to do any of those things. I didn't want to have kids. I didn't want to get married. And I think I look at it now as I'm older and I've changed those viewpoints. A lot of that was because of things I would just hear in random conversation, maybe on TV, like shows. There might be side comments that are made where it's a joke about women and gender roles and BS like that. or it was I would see girls at school that were way too feminine, like focused on shit, and I wasn't that way, so I never wanted to be like that. But a lot of it had to do with like the popular topic at the time, even in the adult world, is feminism being pushed. And now, like when you were growing up, the popular topic at the time was non-binary bullshit being pushed, even though we older adults may not have even known it yet or picked up on it yet, because it didn't get as pushed in the zeitgeist yet for adults to realize what was going on. And the kids aren't going to realize either.
That is a huge portion of it. A lot of the kids don't realize that they're being pushed on by an agenda that's designed to kill them. It is, I mean, the huge portion of it also is the real issue is homosexuality and bisexuality is on the rise. And I assume you guys, okay, you can hear me. Okay, good. And so the problem there is those things are on the rise, which means that people are now more confused because we're not at a state where we can deal with those raising things as well. And when you are growing up, you're like, well, I might like guys, but I'm not supposed to like guys. That's what leads to some people being like, well, then I must be a woman. And then because they might be more feminine anyway, and then that's going to lead to someone affirming it. The point of the identity versus role confusion is all of the confusion is completely natural. The problem is only when you affirm the confusion, because if you tell them that the confusion is a good thing, they will have no reason to adapt their mindset and find their identity. They have no reason to find identity because the confusion is supposedly their new identity.
Right.
And I do like you said that it's a path that leads to imminent demise. Another way of putting that, it's like these kids are really just being literally sacrificed on an altar of this idealism.
And I just had to grow up. That's all it took. I had to grow up.
Am I the only one that's enjoying the fact that Arza is being heard but not seen?
I know. I was gonna make a comment.
You guys are listening.
We're erasing him. We're erasing him, everybody.
I see him. I just don't see me.
Oh,
weird.
Yeah, we see you.
Yeah, this has
Don't
been
you feel
dog
special as a
shit,
black
and I hate
man
it.
being seen?
Probably.
It's weird. All I'll say is it's really weird when Theo just dropped out. After that it just went really weird.
Yeah, no,
Here's
what happened. My laptop died. That's what happened. So this is why I need to, Iron, as soon as I get to Vegas, I need to build a computer because I feel called to do that spiritually.
Wait, okay.
That's
not why your laptop died.
Me. Huh?
That isn't the reason your laptop died.
No, but he's saying he wants to do that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Yeah, it's like, but it's like if I had a PC that was like plugged in, then I wouldn't have to like my battery life wouldn't be so fickle. I'm just asking my laptop to do a lot right now. It's powering 2 devices and running a stream, and I have like 1,000 tabs open. So this is like I'm just putting a lot on it right now.
Can I recommend plugging it in?
I did. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I was it's good. Glad we were able to solve that. Here's the thing. It's you just kind of get in where you fit in as you grow up, and like not everybody's supposed to be the same, and you just kind of get in where you fit in as you grow up. Like it's people. There needs to be space for people to vary. Like I had kind of like a mirror. Childhood experience. I assume Gall's childhood had a lot of like tree climbing and like violence and hanging out with boys. And mine was kind of the reverse. I would use my action figures to put on like theater productions with the girls. You know what I mean? This is real.
I am resisting the urge to call you gay right now.
Well, no. That's fine. Here's the thing. But then I grew up and I started lifting weights and getting laid. And all of a sudden I had this ability to talk to women
lifting weights
that like fucking mystified my male peers. You know, and so now I do this cool thing on the podcast where I tell other men to stop arguing with women because there's no point, right? So like now I have this, tremendous. What are we doing? I hate the layout. You should feel extension cord and Ethernet. You troglodyte. I'm not resisting the urge. That's gay. Thanks, buddy. Well, but again, it's like, and I had a psycho scrapbooking mom who would have been probably a psycho Instagram mom if she were a millennial. And so I could have very easily, been shoved down that path, by, I think women who tend towards neuroticism are getting pushed way further down the neuroticism chain by social media, because it confirms every bad, negative, intrusive thought that they're having all the time. It just confirms it and amplifies it. And then it get amplified by the sisterhood, so go ahead.
I think you shared a post earlier. It actually shows this had to do with adolescence and, the outrage that, young men are being radicalized online, when actually, statistically speaking, it's women that are radicalized more by social media, way more than men.
It doesn't pass the 20 years ago test, Like
that also goes back to what I said earlier. Men do not want, and boys do not want to be bothered. They want to be left alone. And that includes when it comes to like accusations of radicalization. Men and boys are not getting radicalized because they do not care enough to get radicalized. The only way to radicalize a man or a boy is to force him to care enough to become able to be radicalized.
I think the thing that radicalized boys the most, this is the thing that created this new techie right that we're all enjoying so much, was fucking Anita Sarkeesian. Iron knows what I'm talking about, right? Like,
you're 100% right. They made men that are lazy and don't care suddenly cared. Why? Because they run video games. They run comic books. They run Star Wars. Now all of a sudden, all of these lazy motherfuckers are getting up off their couch and they're getting involved in saying shit. So
I mean, I assume you guys saw the Grums news, right? Grums is an Asian. I think he's American, but he's definitely Asian. He's a guy who made World of Warcraft, and before that, it made him a lot of money. He ran a softcore porn site. This guy does not have the makings of a cultural warrior. Until people started just shitting on his games. That is the only reason he stopped working on World of Warcraft and porn, was because politics got involved and somebody had to make him all bothered.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think with the problem with Grum, I guess he got money for his game and it just never came out. And then I guess.
Well, okay, so the game is still in development. He has just paused, but he hasn't accepted money in over a year because he hasn't done enough stuff to make it worth receiving money.
I mean, I've seen the videos and stuff on it. I think it does kind of look bad. Because
I'm not saying it doesn't look bad, but
because the problem is a lot of folks on our side. Like, if it was someone that wasn't speaking our talking points and they do the same thing, we would be all up on them for an eternity. And then it was or the Remember the Eliza Blue thing that got talked about.
I don't know how much I agree with that, because we've got people like JDA and Yorch Torch Games who we are calling out for doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I guess I haven't said anything about it, but I have seen where it just seems like he gets a pass, but we'll complain when other people do it. And
so he did come out. I'm not defending this. I've talked to people who a person who's close to me that I've kind of called out for a bit of the hypocritical reaction he had to it because of how hard he constantly was talking about Alyssa Mercante. But it's okay when Grums does something like that. And his belief is that Alyssa, whenever it gets brought up, she is getting defensive with it because she's ashamed of it. But with Grums, he came out and he talked about it kind of to get ahead of it and be like, yeah, dude, this happened in my past. So that's his differentiation. I feel it might be a little bit of cope, but no, I'm not clocked into all of that. So
that's not really the distinction there. The distinction is Grums never claimed to not be a porn monger. Alyssa Mercante is actively suing Smash JT for saying that she did porn.
That's the
real difference.
That's his other point as well. Basically her reaction of it is to hide it and say no, you can't say that, and then go after Smash JT. I think it's
also Grums is an Asian man who worked on World of Warcraft. Is anyone surprised that he made porn?
No, I don't. I'm not talking about the porn stuff.
Not really.
So I was that game that Ender and Ender 8. So that's what I'm talking about. the what people do in their bedroom and their spare time, I don't really care. So
reportedly he rented out 5-star hotels for the stars.
Yeah, well, that in itself, that's its own thing. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the game he had, Ender 8 or whatever.
And he's always constantly calling out all these shit games that we're getting, but his game is shit.
Well, no, his game hasn't come out. Well, he only just now released the demo to his game. That's the problem.
Well, even the demo, it wasn't honestly. It's not that good for the amount of years it's been supposedly worked on. But like. I seen one creator that when some of them brought it up, it was Bat Sauce, because it seems like he's scamming his customers, and then but we'll talk about other people that scam their customers all day and night, and then he gets a pass because I seen one creator go, oh well, he's good for the culture war, and that's why we'll let it slide.
Which I don't like that either.
All right, well this conversation is very nerdy and gay, so we're gonna pivot back to something that's on brand for me. Let's go ahead and play that video, Emeralds.
And then we end up going back to his apartment. And at his apartment, he's like, okay, pull up your TikTok. And I'm like, I pull up my TikTok and I'm sitting next to him. And like, so mortifying. And it's me talking about my situationship thing.
God, I hate
He was
that
like, when's
word.
that from? I was like, Monday. It's literally Friday, Maya. Like, Friday.
Well, I would absolutely love for a guy to say, you know what, honey, that's nasty behavior. That's not appealing. Ooh, I'm sorry. You're cute and all, but I can't sign up for that.
Yeah, that
you think
part.
I'm being mean, don't you? You're at home watching this saying, ooh, Jed, that's me. You know what? It's honest.
It's not. Yep.
It's honest. And it will check that girl in 2 seconds because she will know that putting this stuff out there on TikTok that's nasty has consequences. Instead of being like, oh, I got away with everything and he still wanted me to stay. And I know, guys, you're looking at her and saying, oh, well, I'm not taking her seriously anymore. It doesn't matter. You're still giving her time. You're still giving her time. You're giving her energy. You're giving her affection in the act. You know you are. And that behavior that's nasty and all that disrespect, oh, I'm a pathological liar, it's just getting reinforced. So some of this is on you because, you see a cute girl and you're like, stop doing it. Stop looking at the Christmas tree with all the lights. Getting distracted. Nasty.
That's right. This is the part that I keep saying. This is literally our first conversation on stream was about this. Whose fault is this? Because we spent the whole time talking about women. This is men's fault because you guys still fuck them. Not Arza, obviously, but those of us that get laid, we still fuck these broads.
Man, and I'm not even on screen to like pretend to be offended.
Right?
We still
we're pretending the grass behind you or the grass is offended.
You have to stop. Here's the thing: even if you pump and dump this broad, she's still got like affection and validation. And because when you have sex with a woman, she assumes that you didn't find her disgusting. And I say this all the time: women, if they're gonna have sex with a man, they got to find him at least a little bit attractive. There's got to be something there. There's got to be a hook. He's got to be good looking, funny, interesting, something. There's got to be something going on that is like, okay, this is good, right? For men were not like that. Men will have sex with women they do not like, do not respect, and are not attracted to. In fact, are disgusted by, even if the sex isn't good. And so, but you're giving her the validation of thinking because she doesn't have a theory of mind for you. She doesn't know how men work. So she thinks because she liked you that you also liked her. So even if you pump and dump this broad, you're giving her validation and you're giving her no reason to correct her behavior. You're giving her no feedback that's going to cause her to act right. And like this same thing, the guy who's the fucking high voltage lineman who's risking his life 60 hours a week, handling electricity. He comes home and she's like, babe, can you wash the dishes so I'm not late for Instagram? And he's like, yeah, sure, honey, whatever you need. He doesn't say no, like the broad at the beginning of the fucking comedy page. God, I hope she's watching. You just instead of saying, okay, don't be a pain in the ass. Fucking post your own photo. It's Facebook. You're literally using the same phone to throw a hissy fit that you could use to post your own picture. It could happen right now. But nobody's going to say that to her. And the bad behavior is going to continue as long as men continue to tolerate it and validate it with penis. Gal, go ahead.
It's funny. So since you brought it back to the original chick of the stream, I I was
We're
going to
very
say
good at
this.
that.
I was going to say earlier that she's kind of like being controlled by her baser instincts and fighting it, because women back in the day before feminism, things were given to them. Like they would take care of the home and everything, right? But things were given to them. And she is wanting that to happen. Things were not given to men. They still are not given to men. Men will post their own photo saying, "Hey, bragging rights," right? Women don't naturally want to do that. They want those things given to them. And that's what she was doing, but she's fighting it with her fucking feminism, saying, "You need to give it to me and acknowledge it." And you're not doing that, so I'm going to bitch about it instead of just taking it for herself like men do.
Right. She doesn't have any concept that men have to earn things because everything she's ever gotten was given. There was some kind of like diversity program or women in robotics or some shit where she got to get a thing, right?
Well,
but everything I've gotten in comedy, I had to fight for. There were people actively trying to sabotage me the entire way. People didn't give me shit for free. I had to go out there and scrap and ask for it. And then when I got an opportunity, I had to be funny. Right. And then parlay that.
The hardest part of your journey.
There's the female privilege of, okay, she can suck a dick to get her time. Do I have to do that? Does that even get offered to me as a man? Like,
no, nobody. Well, to be fair, I do get that offer a lot, but I don't get anything for it.
Sorry, I'll stop sending you these messages.
They can just imagine you're an ugly woman with long hair. I don't know.
Yeah,
but also, here's the thing. Something we're forgetting. Feminists think men were handed all their opportunities. They actually do believe that we were handed everything we've ever gotten. They don't understand that we were given the opportunity because of all, well, women like to talk about unseen labor. Men do a lot of unseen labor to get those opportunities, like self-promoting, like sending messages out first, like making themselves look like a dipshit on stage doing shitty stand-up when they could get an actual booking.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. And also if you're a woman on the internet, you can just kind of like post like one picture and all of a sudden you got 20 followers, you know, like these guys, like men are thirsty and useless. And a lot of times, here's the thing, I'm gonna be real honest in the Pacific Northwest, the venue, the town I'm in particular, if they will give a paid opportunity to any woman that comes within 10 feet of a microphone. If you can throw a microphone and hit a woman, you can probably give her a stand-up opportunity. You know, you're holding a microphone now, you know,
privilege.
Yeah. And because they're that desperate to fill the demand.
I think an example of this. Oh, I was going to say the Hawk 2 as an example.
For real. You go first and I'll go with mine.
Oh, I was just saying the Hawk Tua girl is like the basic example right now. Just from her saying that one little phrase, which, you know, was cool for the first 15 minutes, but after a while.
I'm so glad her merch was made so quick.
Yeah, she got merch, TV deals. Jake Paul and Logan Paul got her a podcast.
And now she's disappeared.
Well, she's back again or whatever on a apology tour thing.
After her crypto scam.
Honestly, the crypto scam, I don't blame her. It's the people around her because we all know Jake Paul and them do crypto scams. So,
well, it wasn't the Pauls that did it to her. It was some small group.
They're all in cahoots with each other. I mean, for being for real. So, like, they own that podcast. She's shilling that Prime energy drink, whatever. Like, they birds of a feather flock together, whatever that saying goes.
Yeah,
I like how however it goes when you said it perfectly. Go ahead, Iron. Sorry.
Real quick. So, personal example. I was a man, like the bar manager. If you've ever worked in restaurants, you know that there's a back of house manager, bar manager, front of house, all that, and then there's a general manager. So I'd be interviewing for bartenders, and then I'd take who I have to the general manager to decide he would then tell me who to give the callbacks out of the qualified ones. I would have guys with over 8 or 9 years of experience bartending, right? And they get passed over for a girl with none, but she was likable and cute.
Well, to be fair, girls get more tips.
I had no say. I could. And he's like, nope, they'll bring in more business, blah, 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 blah. And then I even made a point, like on the online space, like you were saying, Theo, it is, and this got me in a little bit of trouble on a stream once for a joke. Yeah. It is just easier for women to gain a massive following online, like doing the same things we do in being, even being less into said thing or engaging or anything, just simply for being a woman. If we're being honest, that is the truth.
I mean, to be fair,
easier.
If I want a hurricane shot, I'm getting that from a woman.
That's fine.
I'm
just pointing out
here.
No, I was in a bar one time in San Diego, which is a notoriously superficial city where all the hired guns they hire bartenders by cup size in that city because it's a notoriously hot city. This is where the expression San Diego 7 comes from. Buy merch from my merch store.
I'm from San Diego.
But yeah, well, so I went to a bar one time and I ordered an old fashioned, and this broad looked me in the face and said, "I don't know how to do that." And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll take a whiskey on the rocks. And she poured like this much whiskey, threw a big fucking ice cube on it, put a couple straws in, and handed it to me. And I'm just like, okay, well, I handed her the straw back, and I was like, this won't be necessary. And then I just walked away defeated. But there was no, there's no, she doesn't have any skill. Was this the most skilled bartender they could find? The answer is no. Right? She got that job for other reasons.
Counterpoint, she can carry the tray with her tits.
But also, here's the thing. Like, I would rather have the slow, like guys get the privilege of earning it. And in comedy, you see a lot, like the Roseanne Barrs of the world, they have to be funny because they don't have a choice. Right. So it's a lot of these like conventionally not as attractive women who are out here, dropping fucking bangers and being actually funny. And it's kind of rad. Yeah, that's what you see that. But yeah, no, I've noticed this a lot especially at the low levels of comedy. So at the open mic level, you've got a bunch of women who are just using this as an opportunity to trauma dump and talk about how their uncle touched them or whatever, and get people to go, woo, yes, girl, yes. There's so much of that where it's like the point is to be funny, but they're using it as a vehicle to get attention, which they feel entitled to and feel like they deserve it because they've gotten it their whole life. See, I come from the opposite. I was ignored. So I feel a desperate need to earn the attention, and I'm chronically insecure if I don't feel like everyone likes me all the time, right? That's the attitude you need to be good at comedy. You have to have that constant neuroticism, or you won't care enough about the audience reaction to get good. You won't be self-critical enough to get good. If you just, and one of the problems, I've seen this in a local, in the context of comedy. I've seen a lot of them where you've got women who are just not that good. They could be good if they got time to get reps, but they get pushed ahead. They get opportunities that outpace their skill level. And by the way, this is where the idea that female comedians suck came from, because a lot of them get pushed ahead in their careers faster than they would otherwise because they want while they're still young and hot. It takes a long time to get good at comedy. You really got to slug it out in the trenches for a while, but you're not as hot if you slug it out in the trenches for a while. Like, it's hard, like, on you, like, mentally and physically to fucking drive to fucking Medford, Oregon and eat fucking, like, survive on fucking tater tots and hotel room coffee and fucking go tell jokes to alcoholic strangers who hate you. That's hard on the soul. People don't want to do that, and nobody wants to make a hot woman do that. Hot women should get things for free. Everyone thinks that, It's not should, they just do. Yeah, but yeah, it's reality. It's like it's important too. It's not an ought thing. We're describing reality as it is. And but because of that, they're not as good at comedy because they don't have to be. There's no requirement that they be. And I benefit from that too. It's not that hard to be the hottest comedian in the room. I benefit from that a little bit too. I'm not fucking, dense to that. But it's not to that extent.
I find it funny that this came up because one of the first things on my feed this morning on Twitter was this female comedian. It was a clip from her show. I can't remember her name, like Ilya Stress. I don't know. She wasn't fucking funny. She's wearing these pants where, like, the side of them, you can see, like, the seams. Like, they're these black legging type pants, and then the front is mesh. Like, and then there's like a bikini covering her bikini area type pants, right? Like they're barely pants. And at one point, I was like, why is this even coming across my feed? I'm like, I don't think you're actually funny. You're probably some leftist stupid cunt. Sorry.
Okay.
No, that's valid. And so I'm watching multiple clips from her comedy special that she's promoting or whatever. And one of the things that she starts talking about and mentions is like how female clothing has changed or whatever. And she mentions pockets and then is just like, look at these pants. I'm like, you fucking chose to wear those pants. Fuck off.
That's
right.
My
God.
You could have worn cargo shorts if you wanted to, but you wanted to look like a whore.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
I found her. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And so there was another clip where she's talking about her husband. I'm like, oh, great. You have a husband, cuck. All right, cool. At this point, I was fucking done with this bitch. She's annoyed that men congratulate when a woman is pregnant. They congratulate the man. And this is her bit where she's standing there pregnant, you know, doing all the work, tired, whatever. And like when the woman is there, especially when you compliment the man when you're both standing there. And her issue is something about like, oh, congratulations, you were able to shoot straight for 6 seconds or something. And I was just like, shut the fuck up. No one cares that you're an incubator. It's a beautiful fucking thing. Get over it. Sorry.
We all know she is the definition of a pillow princess. And that's why she's upset.
Yeah.
He really did do more work than she did.
I'm like, if I were in that position, I'd just like roll my eyes and laugh because dudes are gonna be dudes. Like, of course, your dude bro is gonna compliment you for being a dude and shooting straight.
Wait, but also that's not what the compliment is. He's not complimenting his friend because he fucked a girl. He's complimenting him because he's now hit the biggest milestone and accomplishment in a man's life.
Yes. Like, good job. You succeeded in life. Man, you got the girl. You impregnated her. Now you're going to be a dad. Like, you won the fucking life lottery. And the fact that she doesn't see it that way and sees it as, oh, yeah, good job. I'm like, you don't fucking understand men. You're not funny.
Based on how you're describing her, I don't think it's an accomplishment to have bagged her.
Well, and a lot of women like her think that any acknowledgement to a man is taking something away from her.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And that's exactly how she sees it. And I'm just like, it's a fucking compliment. Like that they're celebrating the fact that he got you and he is able to
or that
give
he's
you a
going
child.
to be a father. Yeah.
That's how dudes think. It's not, oh, I'm going to demean the woman standing next to you because she's not, she doesn't matter in my eyes. No, like the pedestal
also,
is right there and you're on it.
If they're complimenting their friend for bagging you, that still means they're complimenting you. Exactly. They are still complimenting you because they said that you are worth of like a struggle, like you would have been challenging the bag because you're out of his league.
This is because men and women don't understand each other, like generalized here, because clearly I have a certain understanding of men because I understand fucking logic.
We got it. Look at us. We got a unicorn in here.
Yeah, this bitch. This fucking shit. Look at you fucking wore those. We know why you wore those. Don't bitch that you don't have pockets in.
Where the fuck would they go?
Exactly.
Where would you put them?
Like, where's your pocket? Like, in the ass crack or the front crack? Like, what?
Yeah, she chose to wear those and is now complaining about wearing them.
Those are ugly, by the way.
Yes, they're
ugly.
Cyphex made a meme.
Cyphex made a meme.
I gotta share my screen. I got it pulled up.
It's literally the meme where it's like they're throwing shit over the wall and shit comes back. Whatever.
Yes, it is.
I'm looking to see how wide that is.
Oh Lord. That's rough. That's rough. I do look, and here's the thing. Just so I can work again, I do want to say I do know funny girls. I know there's this one comedian. I'm not gonna.
Hello.
There's one comedian. She's a friend of mine. I'm not gonna say her name because she knows who she is. She got suspended from a touchy-feely venue in Portland because she just would not stop making rape jokes.
Well, somebody was definitely.
And
getting
they were like, okay, we'll have you back, but we need you to go 20 minutes without saying rape. And she was like, I don't think I can.
Shit's a part of me.
Hey, Theo, hook a
That's
brother
my
up.
homegirl. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about female commit. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's that's my soul sister. Like you're the same as me.
She really said, "What? I'm just talking about my dreams."
That's what she's like. That's the thing, and it's actually like it's just like she's taking a risk, right? And one thing I hate about a lot of it's not risky to shit on your husband or to talk about feminism or to dress like a whore. It's really risky to do what homegirl is doing. This girl that I know, like, it's really risky to do what she's doing. In fact, there are venues that she's not allowed to work at because of the things she chooses to talk about. Even though it's funny, it doesn't matter because she's taking risks because that's where the cool part of the art form lives. It lives on the edge. I found out just recently, just this past week, there's another venue. I hadn't even been there. I'm banned already. I didn't even know I was banned. I can't even go. I didn't even know.
Did you feel proud?
Nobody told me. That's the thing. It's fucking great. So
did they say what you did?
Yeah, I think it was owning a penis in public, I think is what happened. That was
That's worse.
Right. That's illegal in the Northwest.
You should have expected that.
Right. It's my fault. So I got to keep that
That's
thing
what you get
holstered.
for not keeping it in the house. Come
Or
on.
find a place to park it.
Did you ever hit up the venue that's near me?
Oh no, I'm gonna do that. I'm in the process of relocating right now, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm planning on after I get settled in Vegas, I'm planning on doing the whole southern United States, and then I'm gonna hit up because now I know a bunch of people in the South, so there's no reason for me to not go out there. You know, it's gonna be a
starting
party.
in Dallas, Daisy.
What? Okay, all right. That's by the way, that's a reference to the porn film Debbie Does Dallas. That's what happened right there. That was insinuating that in case somebody wants to make a meme of it, she was insinuating a bunch of football players were going to run a train on me. So Sci-Fact, if you
I just want to put out
a movie called Debbie Does Dallas, you know what to do.
Yeah, Debbie
Did anyone
Does
hear like a
Dallas is
loud
classic.
springing noise when Gal said that? Just like a little. Oh, you can't see my camera. God damn it.
In all seriousness, though, Theo does Dallas. That's not going to work. I mean, it's going to be Theo does DWF because I mean he's doing the whole area. It's not going to just be Dallas.
Dallas Fort Worth area. God damn. No, I've already honestly.
Our friendly neighborhood man whore.
Dude, I think I've probably fucked every hot girl in Spokane. There's probably like 3 of them. There's like 2.5 of them.
I was just saying Spokane. That's
Just
fucking
awful.
limited, man.
So yeah, that's I got to branch out. Is what I'm saying. God damn.
Like that's close to the Aryan Nation, man. Like
Yeah, dude. It's like you can tell they try to keep. You can tell they try to keep the bloodlines pure by marrying cousins.
Yeah, Eliza Schlesinger. Stupid bitch.
Rough.
That is a slut name.
Yeah. Oh man. But unless she wants me to open for her, in which case I think she's incredibly talented. I would love to pursue any professional opportunities she has to offer. If I have to go down on you, I will. Yeah, I will. I will do anything. I have no credential. I have no principles at all.
Remember, Theo likes it hairy and unwashed.
Right. That's important. I don't think that'll be the issue with her. I think it'll be.
Wait, he's a real narcissist. He likes to fuck himself?
Yes. I'm glad. By the way, I'm not a narcissist. I've been tested. So I had like 3 women call me a narcissist in 1 week. So I was like, maybe I should look into this. So I went to this.
Okay, the fact that you looked into it is proof enough that you aren't.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced still.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. It was just, I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I keep getting, because I went to a therapist. She was like, why do you think women keep calling you a narcissist? And I was like, fucking TikTok. That's why. Yeah. And that's really what it is. You know, they just,
he's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah. They all spend all day doing this and just like learn like the top 4 red flags. It's not my fault that like everything TikTok says is a red flag is stuff that I do.
It's funny. The women who are calling you narcissists are probably narcissists themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Narcissists do
It's
love their
usually how it
projection.
That projection fact.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. For real.
Well, Gal's saying the exact same thing I said, but we can actually see her face.
Oh.
Yeah. That's okay. I think we picked the right one to have off camera, though, right? Do we agree? I feel like we do.
Okay, so I get dressed up for these streams.
I don't know. Well, I can't see myself on our screen, but if I go to the YouTube one, then I do see myself.
Okay. All right. It's actually, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
still
what
ours is messy.
What I find most hilarious about this is y'all were talking so much shit on StreamYard. Like, I don't know if it was during the stream or if it was before we started.
Right.
And then this shit happens.
And it immediately
Yeah, yeah. The selling points to Talk Studio have just left the building.
Yeah, dude, it's rough. What's crazy?
Okay,
I committed
so
to
yeah,
year
you're right.
of
You're
this
right.
already.
Talk Studios is completely worthless if you plan to let your fucking computer die in the middle of the stream.
Right. So don't do that. Obviously, we know that now. And yeah, I'm probably gonna, like I said, I'm building a PC as soon as I can. I'm building like a,
Yeah,
This is
I just got an email from Talk Studio, and it said that I need to kick Arza. For statements against Talk Studio.
Yeah.
I just want to say that this is a BSC situation.
Oh, see, Static says this. He says his computer dying has nothing to do with Talk Studio. So, yeah.
Now Iron is
Hey.
gone.
Wait, what the hell?
Where's now Iron's gone? Shit.
Can we still
Yeah, I
hear
didn't even
him?
do anything.
Oh,
There
I
he
don't know.
is.
Nope.
He's
It's
Right now, if the
here.
arrow goes back to the
He's in
Yeah, I think this is a
Like,
Talk
did
Studio
someone
problem.
move Iron to the grassy knoll? That I'm now gonna call it?
Yes, the grassy
well, Iron, just go into the other room. Problem solved.
He's going to
Oh, that's why I'm gone. I'm on a thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's
Yeah,
okay.
so Iron's the one that's gone from the stream.
Those who know.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, this is fun.
Earlier, I was gonna talk about, we kind of like strayed from what Theo originally asked, like threw me the ball for, like that this is men's fault. I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about the video games before the Grums discussion, it's actually just the shining example as to why gatekeeping needs to exist, because women were just willy-nilly let into the gaming space and the entertainment space without any fucking vetting whatsoever. Gatekeeping isn't meant to be like, I'm a dickhead and you're not allowed. No, it's, I need to vet you to make sure that you're not coming in just to make it something about you instead of about the actual interest.
Yeah,
hobby.
To add to that, I would gatekeep other black folks out of there too.
No, that's valid.
Because, well, I'm being
Well, you know what they're like. He knows what they're like. It's okay.
Well, the problem is the black folks that come into the hobby now, or like they're trying to work at a studio, is hey, I'm just saying.
That's why you brought him on, so he can
You're
talk
right.
about the black
You're right.
women.
You're right.
So the thing is, they're trying to have influence so they can see themselves in whatever medium that is. And originally, like when I went to school for gaming and the studio I worked at, like I'm like one of the only black folks in there. And you see like one or other, there wasn't a mass of us because most of us wasn't actually interested in gaming or any entertainment pop culture thing. And
well, how could you be when you guys don't even know what a computer is?
Exactly. No, but
It was laptop.
the thing is, like, if I went to another black person's house and they played games, it was the only games they had was Madden or some sport games. They weren't playing Legend of Zelda, Star Fox, Metal Gear, anything else. That it was just whatever modern football game and basketball game, and that's the only games they care about. Other than that, I go to my white friend's house. Oh shit, you want to play Call of Duty? Hell yeah, or whatever else. And
Or an
it,
RPG or something interesting, not the
yeah,
same thing every year.
but it's not a bad thing. Their interests or something else. The thing is,
Yes.
they're trying to force these interests on people who don't really care about these mediums. So
Yep.
now you see studios with like all these women because you like we used to have women in there, but it'd be like one or two that were legitimately interested into the hobby or whatever. Now it's just, hey, we have to fill this quota. So even though majority of you don't probably even care about this IP, we need to have you guys in there and put your input in it, or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. It's like, okay, so I dated a girl for a while who was a lady engineer. And so she and the other girl engineers liked working in a male dominated space because they didn't have to fucking wear makeup. They didn't have to deal with other women, and they could just be like, you know, they didn't have to worry about the incessant like gender politics that would go on. And they kind of liked it that it was nerdy and they got to do robot stuff or whatever. Right.
And they're probably the ones that also say we don't need more women in STEM.
Right.
Keep them
Bingo.
away.
That's the punchline of the story. So she self-selected herself into a male-dominated space on purpose, right? Because she liked the vibes better. And then they had some diversity, equity, inclusion guy come in there and be like, wouldn't it be better if everything was pink and smelled nice and there were throw pillows in the bake room so that women liked it? And they were like, fucking no. If we wanted to work with girls, we'd be in HR. You're fucking up what we actually like about the place. And poor Gal, I feel like this is the same thing that happened with you in fucking gaming, is like you self-selected into this environment because of how it was, and they fucked it up with the idea of making it better for you, you know?
It's so fucking annoying. Like, you want to know what my least favorite color is? Take a wild stab.
Is it pink?
Green.
Yes, the fuck it is. Who said green? Well played, sir.
Thank you.
Oh man.
The worst part is,
go ahead.
they also like every single woman and 3/5 of a person who gets added to these companies are now making anyone who actually
my height.
Those are not the 3/5 I was referring to. I was talking about Vagabond. But the people who actually are legitimately diverse, who want to be in these industries, now they're all nothing but tokens. You are literally turning them into the joke by hiring people who don't give two shakes and ratchets about video games. They're only there because you're giving them free coffee every morning and they don't have to do any work. They're gonna make it so any actual woman who wants to work in these fields are now going to be treated with the same baby gloves, the same lack of respect, and then they'll all be ditched, even the ones who want to be there.
And remember, this is all what they're saying to their face, because they are treating you with kit gloves to their face, right? Privately, in the recesses of their mind, no one has any respect for their position. And this creates this constant state of tension and insecurity where they have to constantly stomp their foot and demand that they truly belong there. And everything that makes the space what it is, like women get into online gaming and they're like, it's toxic because people are like cussing at each other or whatever. It's like, no, this is just a male space and this is how we like to hang out. If you don't like it, you can hang out somewhere else. But you don't like
Barbie's Funland, I hear, is hiring.
Yeah, but if you come into our gaming space and say, okay, well, you need to make it, you need to change it so that it's palatable for me.
Why are you here?
It's like, well, then why are you here? And it's the same thing with comedy. One of the things that got me consistently cross-threaded when I was coming up was, you're not allowed to make jokes about women. I was like, yes, the fuck I am. Yeah, absolutely. Have you not?
Gonna be the first thing I do. Don't fucking tell me that.
Have you not seen stand-up comedy before? This is what we're talking. And by the way, it wasn't women who were telling me that. It was men who were scared of the backlash, because the backlash was all on me. I'm fine. You know, mostly girls liked it because here's the thing. Most women want to be treated like an adult. Women are sick to shit of being infantilized. Women want to be treated like an adult. Part of being an adult and participating in society is being able to hear jokes about yourself and laugh along with it. And some jokes are shittier than others, and sometimes the joke is mean, and that's okay. That's part of being a grown-up. You just keep it pushing, right? But for the most part of participating in adult society is making jokes about stuff. And if I told this to, I have a very progressive friend, used to be a non-binary lesbian. Now she's just a heterosexual lesbian divorced woman. I don't know what her deal is. She's fucking men right now. We'll see where it goes. But one of the problems I had with her is she was like trying to like tone police me and stuff. And I kind of said, I was like, bro, if you're going to say I can't make jokes about you, you're going to really hurt my ability to form emotional intimacy with you, you know? And she was like, what do you what do you mean? And I was like, because this is my main tool for bonding. This is the main thing I do. If I'm going to make a joke about you and it's going to be good and it's going to be personal who you are, I have to pay really close attention to you. I have to listen to what you say. I have to watch what you do. Why would I pay that much attention to you if I hated you? You know, or if I didn't like you, if I didn't like you, I'd ignore you, you know, but you're around all the time. And so I've noticed things about you that are funny, and I want to draw attention to that in a way that we can all enjoy. And then we can form intimacy, and maybe we can throw it back and forth. And then that's like bonding. And, you know, now I know you're tough. Now I know you can handle it if things get difficult, because you can tolerate, you know, a joke. And I know you have a sense of humor. Like there's a lot of like stuff that comes out of that's very positive, but because that's a male typical behavior pattern. Women don't do that. They're very nice to each other's face, and then they bond over shit talking each other behind their back, forming these little estrogen lynch mobs. We talked about those on the show before. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it's gross and agreeing with you. I fucking
And here's a little tip for the men. If you have a male friend who can't take being made fun of, he's not your friend. You can't trust him. He's not a good person.
Yeah, it's a really, really bad sign, actually. There's 100% chance that guy is neurotic and resentful and plotting about you behind your back and fantasizes about your demise. Be
almost
very
certainly male feminists too.
Yeah, be very, very careful around men who can't. And by the way, men know this. We're vetting for those people when we engage in this male typical behavior pattern. And the more dangerous the occupation, the more harsh the jokes are. You know, see this blue collar, military, stuff like that. The more dangerous the occupation, the harsher the jokes. Why? Because I need to make sure that you can handle pressure. I need to make sure that you're not gonna like fucking fold and cry like a baby in a crisis. Like shit's dangerous out here. Like I might need your help someday. Are you too much of a sissy to handle a joke? Then how are you gonna fucking, you know, dig me out of a pile of rubble? You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, this is like
Full Metal Jacket. Anybody?
Yeah, this is it's very important reasons why men behave this way. And we like it. We like it that it's gross and mean. We like it that sometimes people say the hard R on Call of Duty. That's fun for us. We like that. And just because you don't like it, if you don't like it, you don't have to go there. But we like it, and we're not doing it where you are. We're nice. Like men like rudeness and violence and disgusting shit, but we don't do that in front of you because we're nice. You know? We don't. That's because that's nice. We could do it in the street. We used to duel each other in the street. That's what we used to do.
I was thinking about that earlier today. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we used to, and now we don't do that anymore because you guys got tired of cleaning up the corpses. That's fine.
We got soft.
Yeah, that's like
I got an idea.
What?
Everyone, hold on. This is gonna be very interesting, and I think everyone's gonna love this real quick. So watch this.
You fixed it, did you?
I swear to fuck everyone. I swear to fuck this is what I said to do earlier. I literally said to do this when we first started having this problem, and you said it would kill the stream.
No, I just didn't want to see you.
There we go. I fixed it.
See, I interpreted what you said was everyone leave the studio, not the screen.
No, have Emerald remove everybody from the screen.
So this is your fault because you didn't make it clear.
Right, let's go. He's spurging out. We'll just give him a break. We're just gonna put him in timeout so he can just watch him in peace. And then when he can calm down, he can come back to the adult party.
This takes me back to Vagabond's waste of time. If you would have just put it back in.
There we go.
Try it again in O'Reilly's parking lot.
Oh shoot. Speaking of DEI hires and black women.
Yes.
Even though we didn't mention black women. Kamala Harris emerges with a message to black women. What has not changed is our sisterhood.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
To the woman who I have nothing to do with because I don't have an ounce of African blood in me. I only have African fluids in me.
Oh man. I just saw that pop up on my newsfeed. I was like, oh shit.
Oh man. Nate feels called out by you talking about black women who are DEI hires for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why he's jumping in to say that. Nate, I'm sorry. We forgot that you were the actual victim. We forgot to make this conversation about you. I'm sorry, buddy.
So Nate is a woman.
Right. Nate is a big crying baby woman and he might also be black.
Yeah, because here's the funny thing.
That's where I draw the line.
Letitia.
Yes.
Like when I was
Full
in
Metal
school-
Letitia, everybody. Hey, Cyfax, can you go ahead and draw something up with that? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
like when I was in school for gaming, and then when I actually worked at a game studio, the people who weren't into gaming at all, like old black farts and shit, that were like all about black power and everything,
Yeah.
they would be the ones to be like, "Oh, that's cool. You're gonna make a black video game, right?" Or like they would always have a comment like that, yet they don't play games themselves and shit.
Yeah.
I just want to know what these people think a black video game is.
Yeah, like, or you
Is
make
it like
a video-
Dragon Ball Z? Like what?
No, Third Relify. I don't like those people.
Like, oh, you're gonna make a video
They're too
game for
big.
black people. Basically, they want you to make a video game specifically targeting black people only, where
Right.
most black people aren't really gamers.
Well, actually, this is important. So the point Vagabond's making is really important. So the people who are trying to infiltrate gaming, they don't like gaming. They view gaming as a way to build a power base. They're trying to increase their power for their group. They're playing identity politics power games, and anything, whether it's engineering, gaming, anywhere where men are gathered is a place that they can infiltrate and push out the men, but not anywhere, right? Because there's not a lot of power centered in the bricklayers union or the sanitation workers union. So they're not trying to upset the 90% male dominance in those fields, but they're going for places that impact the culture or that are cushy air-conditioned STEM jobs, just wherever they can go to increase the base of power for their group. By the way, that's separate and apart from whether or not it makes them happy or whether or not it's good for society. You know?
Yeah, like that one black chick, bald black chick with the bug out eyes. It's like in every video game now and shit.
Oh God.
She's in like every AAA game. You see her in real life.
all of them.
She can't even lift 10 pounds, yet she's in like holding these big ass guns and shit or whatever shit they put her in.
Yeah, the one who played Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, I think so.
She was what's your face in Jedi Survivor?
The chicken Woman King who like she's beating up this giant black guy, and she's a 50-year-old lady with like lady
Now
arms.
that's
that's
in the movie. He's talking about this. It's a woman in the
Oh, shit.
it's the video game actress.
Oh,
but
not
kind of the
movie
same
Amanda
concept.
Waller, video game Amanda
Right.
Waller. Gotcha.
Yeah, Viola Davis. Like she's like they throw her in shit. No, I don't think it's her. There's another lady that's like
Is it
she's
Octavia
bald.
Spencer?
Oh no, she's bald and they throw it in everywhere.
Oh.
She was in Fallen Order. Star
Deborah
Wars.
Wilson.
Oh.
Okay.
That is such a bad name. Like that's just a bad name.
Yeah,
pull up
if
pictures, we can see what we're talking
like,
about.
yeah, if you pull up her picture, like you'll see that like
Yeah,
they
I'm gonna
just
pull that.
toss her in like every single shit.
They also make her uglier than she already is, which should be a war crime. Like she's.
I don't know. Is that worse than making not Black Widow uglier than she is at all? So like,
Well, okay, no, hold up. Look her up in Jedi Survivor.
Who?
oh, I thought someone was bringing her up.
The same person I'm talking about, right?
There we go. Oh, that's tough. That's
Yeah,
tough.
Yeah.
Is this a
They
real
made her
picture?
uglier than she is in real life. No, that's
Like,
a game.
If you're gonna put
That's
a
in
woman in a
Suicide
game,
Squad.
like make her hot to look at, like in what's that game?
Rivals?
Everyone was playing.
That
Marvel
Emma
Starblade,
Frost.
Rivals.
Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals or
God,
whatever.
Emma Frost could fix me.
Like, okay, like if you're gonna put a like Surgeony Reaver, we all had a crush on her back in Alien and shit.
Shame. Boo this man. Boo this man. Boo's in the chat.
Boo.
Boo.
She would be my conversion therapy, and I'd welcome it in open arms.
Boo. Boo this man. Boo this man.
I thought you'd be happy for me getting straight.
Dude,
What
I'm
the
sorry
fuck?
about
Right?
your mom, but can you not do this on stream? Thanks.
No, like okay, when we had like Surgeony Reaver and stuff, like they were hot. They weren't like they can overpower the alien and shit. They still had their struggles or whatever, but they were hot to look at on screen, and we enjoyed those movies, no problem. This is like, oh man, I don't even want to see the movie because she's in it.
So I've got some information about that dumbass bitch who's complaining about her husband who was the lineman.
Oh, nice.
My dad just texted me. He's a bit behind in the stream. She was a former porn star.
Oh, I forgot about that.
God damn.
No.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry to derail. I
why
thought that
he
was
puts up
pertinent.
with it.
Yeah. And see, this gets back to the point I was making. This is men's fault. Men are allowing this bad behavior to continue by co-signing it, by marrying it, by getting it pregnant, by placating it, by, whatever, continuing by inventing tampons and Midol and whatever else so they can continue to enter the workforce. All this stuff. Like, we're allowing it.
Hey, I just got to put in a little programming note though. Just because Arz's dad knows she's a porn star doesn't mean he ever watched porn. Just saying.
Right. I'm sure he knows through completely legitimate means.
Right.
Just like I do.
Knowing my parents, if one of them told me that they would like watch porn together, I would believe them. My parents are degenerates. They're more degenerate than I am.
Are they millennials?
They're Gen Xers.
Close enough.
Yeah, dude.
They're just saying.
Oh man.
And he's gonna see this, which is the best part.
This has been great. W's in the chat for Arz's parents, everybody. Thank you for watching. Loyal viewers of the channel. W's in the chat. All right.
I mean, he was conceited while they were watching Debbie Does Dallas or something.
Oh God. Oh.
So Mr. Awesome on Rumble actually said confirmed weak man. So exactly to Iron's point earlier.
Right. Yeah. This is just, it's like putting up with bad behavior. I think what happened whenever a woman says on paper, I have a great husband, what she means is I have a very reliable husband that I walk all over who does not turn me on sexually. That's what she means. So, anytime a woman says you're great on paper, just
well, it means you're great, but I don't want great. I want to be treated like a cum rag for the next.
You're great, and you're gonna be great for some other woman, not a woman as hot as me, but some woman less hot than me can have.
No, he'll be great once I turn 40. You'll be perfect for me once I turn 40.
Like. Anybody know? Does anybody know what he looks like? Because I don't think she's a prize, to be honest.
I was gonna make a similar comment. I'm like, I don't know who.
I'm probably gonna be called all kinds of names, like I'm a woman hater, or how dare I attack her looks. Well, guess what? She's not special. There's nothing special about her.
You're missing a bit of information. Every single woman is now convinced she's a 10.
No way.
Yeah,
she's not a 10.
Every single every woman. 90% of women think they're a 10. Even Gorlock the Destroyer thinks she's a 10.
Oh, you're talking about women think of themselves as such.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Gorlock the Destroyer is not a woman, though.
Sane women do not. Sane women do not.
Yes, sane women do not think that way.
You're talking about a small portion.
Well, yes, because we're on the panel right now.
Good point.
That's why they're here. That's why they're invited. And I've said this before. I know we spent a lot of time talking about how we had a lot of fun talking about women today, but I do think the cool chicks outnumber the crazy chicks 3-1. Like, most chicks are not complaining about their significant other on TikTok. Like, that's not the norm. Most chicks do. 90% of people who use social media don't create any content. Shout out to the 4%. That's right. Banner. Shout out to the 4%. 4%. The W's in the chat for the 4%. We love you guys. This is what I'm saying is the cool chicks outnumber the obnoxious chicks 3-1. And that's always got to be true. And I think when it's always the worst ones that are the loudest. And I think the problem with, the reason, and this is the same thing with the Ashley Sinclair thing. This was what I was trying to press upon too. A lot of people, without naming names, it was Strider. Thought that women, and I think Strider has his own reasons for why he might be cynical about women in a custody family court situation. He's got his own reasons for that, and I can't really blame him. But he was thinking, Ashley Sinclair was acting up in public, acting like a brat, trying to get Elon's attention, and he thought that women were going to be on her side broadly. And I was like, nah, bro, look at the fucking tweets. It's all women criticizing her. Why? Because women function like a labor union, and Ashley is fucking up the vibe for everybody. She, with her behavior right now, she's making it.
You're making us look bad.
Even men who are not wealthy are going to see that as a reason to avoid marriage, avoid commitment, and avoid having children. So with her behavior right now, even for men who are not rich, she's acting as an impediment to them forming committed relationships. There's some guy who's been dating his girlfriend for 5 years who's seeing this and looking at her like, I don't know. Like, that's happening. She's fucking up the vibe for everybody. Like, women are not in favor of this. Like, if you look at who's criticizing TikTok and saying there are a lot of women who are like, yes, girl, I also feel unseen. But most of the people who are calling her out are also women. Women don't
it's like
either.
Have you seen who opposes abortion? It's women.
Yeah, dude.
Men actually for the most part, do not give two shakes or rats out about abortion. But women, I think it was 60%
Or just
of women
stay out of it.
Right. Well, and I actually have a video. We didn't have time to get to it today. Actually, fuck it. It's my show. We have as much time as I want. I'm actually going to pull this up. I have a video that's exactly what you're talking about. Give me one moment while I find that. Talk amongst yourselves.
that Theo remembers that he's the host.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want. That's fine.
I feel like that happens at least once every time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this is my
See,
show.
at least Theo hasn't done his main thing he does as a host. He has yet to say more about that. That's not said that yet.
Hey, give me time. I also haven't said go off queen yet, even though Gal has been going off the whole show.
You don't have to tell me to go off. Is the problem.
Look, man, the only reason you haven't said that yet is because you forgot to put your acrylic nails on today.
That's right. I didn't forget. That's bold of you to assume.
Let me see them fingers.
It's like,
I
first
don't
of all,
wanna see
you're not, I'm not comfortable moving my hands right now. Speaking of, okay, this is
say both hands.
This is one of the most impressive real-time bodyings I have.
Oh, I love this woman.
This is a great clip. Go ahead, roll that.
We're going to call the abortion facility and I'm going to tell them I'm pregnant with a 32-week fetus, as you say. Hi, I just turned 32 weeks pregnant. Am I able to come in for an abortion ASAP?
I wouldn't be able to see you for the week of the 23rd, so that would put you at 34 weeks.
Can I still have an abortion at 34 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I just have to do an intake. Do you have about 5 minutes?
Sure, I have 5 minutes. Yeah, I just found out that she could have Down syndrome. I can still have the abortion, right, even though she has Down syndrome?
Yeah, so we just have to do an intake because the doctor...
It doesn't matter.
That's late-term abortion, ma'am. That's abortion in the 8th month of pregnancy. That's discriminatory based on someone's genetic code. She just confirmed she would commit an abortion on me with my child who's viable and can live outside the womb. I can still have the abortion, right, even though she has Down syndrome?
Yes.
Can I still have an abortion at 34 weeks?
Yes.
That's late-term abortion, ma'am. That's abortion in the 8th month of pregnancy.
Bam.
You see, I'm just gonna say I don't trust that woman on the phone to be qualified.
That's well. By the way, Gal, you're getting some support in the chat from the 4%. They like you. She doesn't need your permission to go off.
I just don't give you a chance to tell me to.
So yeah, you I don't have to say anything. I just have to get out of the way and let you say what I was thinking.
Well, you know the real reason that he won't give you permission is because you've already got his balls in a purse.
That's not yet. We haven't
Calm down,
we haven't
Theo.
had that
You're not
conversation yet. That'll be in the DMs.
Theo, you're not supposed to be
What were you
simping
guys
on
saying?
your own- You're not supposed to be simping on your own show.
This is we're just getting started. We're gonna have to continue this later. This will be an after hours segment. We might have to put this on the Patreon. This is okay.
Oh my,
this is fun. I'm having a good time. Are you guys having a good time? I am. All right. Let's see. Where did we leave off?
What is the term that I'm looking for? It's not genetic. They're trying to control fucking. God damn it!
It's social engineering a little bit.
It's not even like there's a term for it. It starts with a G.
Eugenics?
Eugenics. Sorry, it
Really?
has a G in it. Thank you.
There
That
you go.
shit is fucking creepy and I hate it. And it just, they want to throw around the term Nazi. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's gross. But here's the thing: if they don't murder that baby, what if she can't get that master's degree she's always thinking about getting later?
Gross.
You know, honestly, I was almost expecting her to say when she said it could have Downs. I was almost expecting the rep to say, "Oh, you can't have it." Actually,
Yeah, there were so many opportunities for her to pivot out of that, But
when I was thinking like because I know there are cases where they'll protect someone who's like of a quote unquote disenfranchised group, but if it's just like a normal person, they're okay with it.
So like in Finland, I'm pretty sure it was Finland. Like there were murmurings of if you discover that your child may have Down syndrome, you can abort it, like legally or whatever. And then there were studies later on saying that you can't actually diagnose Down syndrome in the womb. Like it's a very low accuracy percentage. So I'm saying there's murmurings because I don't have like
I look to see those results because everything I've seen has suggested that they're reliable.
Okay, and that's another thing that you're about to put your seatbelt
I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware.
The doctors are not as accurate as they're touted to be because if you know who Lila Hart is, she's my brother. And there's at least one person at her fucking show all the fucking time that says your life story is basically my life story. Her life story is my brother's life story. He was given all of these goalposts of you're going to die, you're not going to live, all of this bullshit until they were just like, all right, fine. You just keep blowing past all of our goalposts. Do what you want with your life. You're going to survive, it seems. Like it infuriates me. The amount of you should have telling my mother you should if we hadn't found out this late we would have told you to have an abortion because he's going to be stillborn. Guess what? He fucking wasn't. He was a preemie. Sure, he had to use the medical procedures to live for a little bit. He got past the 3-month mark. He got past the 26-year-old mark, and they were finally just like, okay, fine, we can't diagnose you because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So don't come at me with this bullshit of they can diagnose this shit in the womb. It doesn't mean that you should fucking kill your baby because they're probably not fucking accurate. And you're going to kill your baby because they told you that he might have some fucking club foot or some shit. So he's not going to be exactly normal. Too fucking bad. It's still your fucking child and you should love them no matter how they come out. Don't tell someone to abort their baby because they might have some sort of disorder. Guess what? You can still fucking love them.
We got to get you a Go Off Queen mug for this from the merch store. Or when that happens. That way you could like sip it after you get that. How'd that feel? You feeling better?
Yeah.
Good for you.
When it comes to stuff like that, I get very defensive because
I know
my brother, but I'm saying it quietly so he doesn't hear me.
No, you have a totally valid reason for feeling that way. I'm glad that you shared that with us.
I feel like I've done it every time I've been on this stream.
Yeah.
So my sister and I were born.
She's my favorite panelist. I like her so much better than you, Arza. It's not close. I need you to know that. Sorry, Selena.
Wait, but 2 weeks ago you said I was your favorite. I actually have the clip somewhere of you saying I'm your favorite.
But Selena was saying something. She was quiet, but she was saying something.
Sorry, go Selena. Go off, Queen.
I'm just saying that my sister and I, my twin sister and I, were born premature. We were not expected to live. We were the size, like I guess we could both fit in a shoebox, basically. We almost died. I mean, they were like, "All right, well, don't name them."
I've met her uncle, and when he walked in and saw him, he laughed and said, "Don't get attached."
Yeah.
You see, I'm kind of similar. You know, me and my twin were also incredibly small and incredibly. We were due on Halloween, and we were born a month and a half early.
Mm-hmm.
My dad says he could. I think he says that he could hold both of us on one hand. My dad's also got like freakishly large hands, but and so I mean, yeah, same.
Isn't that like a twin thing? I've heard it's a twin thing. Like,
yes, twins generally get evicted sooner.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Evicted. I've never heard that phrase used like that before.
This is important. So there's this leftist idea that if a person's quality of life isn't up to my Western liberal standard of how good a life should be, then you should just kill them so it's not even worth it. And they use that as an argument for abortion. Because you ask them, like they'll be like, well, a lot of people are born poor, Theo. And I'll be like, would it be better if you killed those people? Or would it be better if they got to live?
Well, okay, you know what the liberal argument there is? The liberal argument is I was born poor and I wished I was aborted. Because ultimately, most people who support abortion are just mad that they have to be alive.
For real. That's really what it is. It's this sort of, it's this impulse of like, I hate my life and I'm miserable and that's unfair. And suffering is the worst thing ever. But this is the logical conclusion of the leftist belief system, which is that suffering is the worst thing that can happen. And the ultimate good is to reduce suffering and maximize pleasure, which just devolves into hedonism and just jerking off. Whoa, somebody sent me money, everybody. It happens. I want this is from Toasty. Toasty, friend of the channel. I want Jubilee to make a pro-abortion people to debate with people whose mothers try to abort them. I wonder.
I thought they did that.
Have the balls to say in front of their faces. Well, they did pro-abortion versus anti-abortion, but they haven't done it with like.
I could have sworn I saw that they did that recently.
Maybe they did. I don't know. We'll have to look it up. We'll have to look that up at some point.
You know, I guess I'll play the heel. I'll make the unpopular argument. I actually, in terms of severe disability, I honestly do not have an issue with abortion for that. That is one of the few times I'm okay with it.
I vehemently disagree.
Oh, go ahead.
My brother has had several surgeries in his entire life. He has had nothing but issues his entire life. And yet he is here. His brain makes up for what his body couldn't produce. He is wicked fucking smart. He has a better fucking job than all of us siblings combined. Just because you may be born with severe disability does not mean that you are less than human and should not live. And I'm not saying that you're saying they should. Yeah. But I realized as I was saying it, I'm like, oh God. I'm
not saying your brother's less than human.
No, but that's a very common argument, though. It's like you are expressing this leftist argument. So I'm trying to I'm not trying to make this personal. I'm trying to like pick this apart a little bit. There's an artificial standard in the mind of leftists of how good a life has to be before it's not worth it anymore, right? And what I think the point Gall's making is there's somebody right now who has a life that you think is not you, but the leftist who's arguing for abortion that you think is so bad that he should have just been aborted, and he's fucking killing it. He's doing great with that life. So it's not up to you to decide whether or not somebody gets to live or not. That's up to them.
I'm not saying it. Yeah.
Right.
So let me explain my position, how it differs from the leftist one. I'm saying is the leftists would usually argue mandated abortion. I do not believe in mandated abortion for these kind of things. But I think the options should be on the table for in case it is desired.
Yeah.
So that's I think it's my fault, Theo, that like you went that direction, because that's kind of my argument against it made it seem like that. And that's kind of why I stopped right when you were like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, that wasn't what you were saying. But like it's hard for me to differentiate that because I'm so passionate about it, because
I'm also not saying quality of life for the person, but instead for the systems around the person, not to sound uber leftist in that phrasing. But it's kind of like the reason for it is if you don't offer that avenue.
Who did this? Is this Cyfax?
Cyfax.
That's definitely Cyfax.
Oh my God.
Who taught him what memes were? Who did that? Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
So
Bat Sauce actually jumping in. See, I think what Bat Sauce is saying here is that you're kind of unintentionally, without doing it, the logical conclusion of your life, the logical conclusion of that argument goes in the same direction. And also even for the people around them. So this comes from me being Catholic. So I don't accept the premise that suffering is the worst thing that can happen to you. And I don't accept the premise that the ultimate good is the reduction of suffering. And my tradition, when we suffer, we're supposed to say thank you. You know, we're supposed to have gratitude for it, because suffering is an opportunity for growth and learning. And even if you get a tremendous burden dropped on you, there's probably a reason, and you can grow from it, and you can learn from it, and you can learn to appreciate life maybe in ways that you wouldn't have if you hadn't had that negative experience. And sometimes having somebody born into your family who has a disability, yeah, that does make life harder. But also the family rallies around them and grows together, and maybe you guys get closer, and maybe that person ends up being really cool and wicked smart and funny and interesting, and they add life and vibrance to the family that wasn't there before. Like, you just don't know what God's plan is with that. And for us to get in there with our eugenics brains and being like, wouldn't it be better if I smushed it into paste? That's not right. You know, that's not a good thing.
allowing that instead of having the discussion. I was actually just going to bring this up, so you were taking the words right out of my mouth. Fucking damn it. But like that's my life experience, literally, is what you just said. That suffering, those trials and tribulations that the Lord gave to us type of situation is exactly how I grew up. We were poor. We had to live off of the government because we didn't have money, because we had to pay for surgeries and be in the hospital all the time with my brother to make sure that he was able to live. Though that shit fucking sucked. My parents did the best that they could for us, the rest of us kids, not to realize that's the life that we had. Like, we knew we were poor, but we didn't know the struggles they were going through truly. But it made us closer as a family. And he's the funniest fucking person in our goddamn family. I'm saying that way too loud. Hopefully he's playing Monster Hunter. Like, his disability like brought joy to our life in a different way, and it made us like better as people. And so if you allow for that, like, I understand where you're coming from with that. It is ultimately going to evolve into what you don't want it to be, which is people seeing those people as lesser and seeing that life as, oh, well, you're born into a poor family, you shouldn't live. And so we're letting them do that. And the thinking just, it becomes like a virus that you just can't stop.
That's right. It's
it
about the
eugenics.
Bingo. It's the logical conclusion of the ideas. And this is the same thing we run into with leftism in general. There's all sorts of ways where the idea, wouldn't it be nicer if things were more equal? Right. And then pretty soon they're making terrible video games.
You said something about how the left, like, they hate suffering. I was going to make a comment, and it's so funny because the left is what causes suffering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, leftism encourages suffering, which then you want to fix. But because the left is what causes the suffering, you can't address the real suffering.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they wouldn't exist if they didn't have chronic victims and chronic oppression.
Because that's how they
trying to overcome.
Which is so funny. They're against hierarchies of competence. Like, they're against people being the best at stuff being on the top. How they structure hierarchies is who suffers the most. So that creates this arms race of performative public suffering to try to decide whose opinion matters the most. You see two leftists arguing, they'll be like, I'm gay and disabled. It's like, well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm a midget and a sex worker, like they'll just go back and forth to try to figure out whose opinion matters the most. And they're not concerned at all with facts.
I like how Theo presented a real argument and presented a fantasy of his.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, this is why I told the argument that I make. Go ahead.
Oh, the argument I'm making isn't so. It's not a suffering-based argument. It's more of a resources-based argument, kind of, and it's not demanding and I understand why why there 100% is the risk of the slippery slope, because if leftists have proved one thing, is that they always go down the slippery slope. For them, it's a water slide every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Depends how long it takes them to get into it.
And they cheer going
down.
And
see, we have an example of this that's going on right now. So death with dignity is what they call it, or another word for it is euthanasia. And so that used to be a thing, like, oh, old people are suffering, why don't we just give them a bunch of painkillers and they'll just like die peacefully, and that'd be a cool thing if we did that. And then they set up little clinics to do it, and now they're just doing it to depressed 28-year-olds in Canada. Which, I mean, how could you not be depressed if you're 28 and you have to live in Canada? Good Lord, that's your hot years.
Just like with abortion too, it's not about the person that's actually being removed. It's about the burden that society deems that old people, well, you cost a lot to take care of, and you're kind of in the way, and you're kind of a lot of upkeep. Wouldn't it be better for me, but for me, if we just got rid of you? Oh, child that may or may not have a workable but it may be expensive or inconvenient disability, maybe wouldn't it be better for that child and myself if we just got rid of that child for myself, so I wouldn't have to deal with it? I mean, better for you. It's bullshit.
Right. And you get that dressed up like you're being a good guy. Like, I'm a champion.
Exactly. I'm virtuous because I'm deciding that it's better for you to not be here anymore.
Like that's like the peak of
totally
being,
not for my own comfort, benefit, and convenience.
Like,
it's,
if I'm
selfishness.
If I want to be a virtuous male feminist, I might pay for the abortion of the girl I knocked up. Because I'm a virtuous male feminist. I did that for her. No, I did that for me because I hate wearing condoms and I hate being responsible for my actions. That's why I did it. Anyway,
I like when you
I'm
get
never going to
brutally
work in
honest,
this
Theo.
town again. I am never getting another comedy gig in the Northwest as long as I live. Arza, clip that indeed. Hashtag Arza, clip that in the chat. Give it up for Arza. We've been giving him a hard time today, but we couldn't run the show without him.
That's
Oh,
why
man.
I'm here to
Oh,
be
man.
the representative for all the people you hate.
Oh, Tommy's here.
What up, Tommy?
Hey, Tommy.
Oh, man. Let's see. All right. Well, guys,
See, if I was more prepared for this discussion, I could give proper arguments, but I wasn't expecting it, and I'm playing Power World, so I have no arguments to give.
You fucking nerd. All right, folks. Well, this has been rad. This has been rad. I think we've had a good show. We're coming up on 3 hours. Why don't we start wrapping it up? Let's see.
I thought you just said you don't like doing that, though.
I don't. It's like I've got some DMs I need to send as soon as the camera shut off. You know who you are. All right, Arza. Let's start with you. Where can people find you if they decide their life isn't gay enough already?
All right. Well, if you want to gay it up, queens, you can follow me over at Arza Chats on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and X. I post everywhere. I do all of it. I do a video a day and a short a day. The short just summarizes the video. If you want the too long, didn't read, because I know you're stuck on Zoomer brain. I recently put out a video that I'm not going to do my own horn, but my dad said it's my best one yet. Which I was going over this post from Homath, where he basically blames anime for furries. That's basically the crux of his argument. I spent an hour going. I spent 50 minutes basically going like, this guy's an idiot. He's saying stupid shit. He's great, but he's being an idiot here. So you guys should check out that video.
Walsh.
Yeah. It is the definition of a Matt Walsh take, and I got so fucking pissed off. I just basically screamed at my camera for an hour. I referenced music. I quoted songs. My dad was like, you gotta reference a Rush song. So I fucking read the lyrics of a Rush song and the Logic song. Like, look, this guy, music knows he's wrong. He's wrong.
Yeah, so everybody go ahead and make sure to go over to Arza's channel and watch the video that made his father proud of him. All right, Emerald.
Finally.
Emerald, you are the producer extraordinaire who I'm actually sending you a meme right now, just so you know. You are the producer extraordinaire, but you're also the host of some other shows that I appear on. So where can people find you if they want to see more of the cool shit that you do?
Well, before we get into that, let's show this real quick because I think it's very applicable.
Jesus Christ.
Now, what's interesting is our talk yesterday of pizza toppings. So how would you rank your penis-shaped pizza toppings? Would you put that S tier there, Arza?
Penis gummies would only go well on a cinnamon pizza. You know, a dessert pizza.
Oh,
they wouldn't go well like
dessert pizza.
It's no pineapple. It doesn't go with other things.
We're back to the dessert pizza discourse. This is great.
Oh God.
Wait. So you guys had a discourse on dessert pizzas last night?
Yes.
Fucking wonderful.
I don't want to talk about it.
You ever had macaroni and cheese pizza?
I have. It's
Wait.
great.
That was a topping choice.
Yeah, I told you guys mac and cheese pizza was good. Don't nobody want to listen to me.
I don't either.
Problem. Yeah.
You are only ever correct by accident.
Thank you.
Anyway, I host my own show on Friday nights at 9:30 PST over on my channel called Insert Title Here. And then I have Sammy 3P Cavecast. We passed this week, but we should be back for next week. And then we're going to take another week off for the meetup going on in Las Vegas. Then I will be back for Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass next Saturday as a producer. Then on Tuesday, I have Nerds Covering the News at 5:30 PST. And then on Wednesday, I have Weekly Rogues Gallery over on Iron's channel.
Very cool. Thank you, Emerald. Appreciate what you do around here. Couldn't run the show without you. All right.
He means that literally, guys.
Literally, I could not do this without you. I would be
not figuratively, literally.
No, I remember earlier in the stream, my laptop died because I forgot to plug it in. So that's the level of expertise we're dealing with.
Yeah, that.
You're so frustrating.
That's a tough one. All right, Vagabond. First time on the program. Did you have a good time, buddy?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, glad to be here and don't mind coming back.
Very cool. I know
And
you've got stuff going on. Where can we find you?
yes, you can go to my channel, The Runaway Vagabond. I will start uploading videos soon. I should be vlogging, hopefully, the Vegas meetup. And then tonight I will be on For Homies podcasts. We're just talking about anime and random subjects. And then I'll be next Friday on Iron's channel for the Weekly Rogues Gallery or the Weekend Rogues Gallery. I'll say it now. If you get him to 1,000 subscribers, there's supposed to be a mini me Iron and a mini me Selena. So other than that, I will start my own podcast pretty soon. I Swear It's Not Hentai podcast, probably sometime after the Vegas meetup.
Dude, I cannot wait to be on that, man. That's gonna be so much fun. That's gonna be so much fun. Oh man. All right. Iron, happy to have you here, buddy. You're the host of all kinds of, you got all kinds of stuff going on. Recently monetized. 3 weeks ago, I got the channel monetized. So that's an amazing milestone. Continuing to gain followers and momentum since then. What have you got going on?
Let's see. Later today, I believe I'll be over on Full Metal Nate's channel for Curse of Strahd. Then next week, we'll have the Rogues Gallery on the regular nights, Wednesday at 5:35 p.m. PST, and then on the weekend Friday show at 5:35 p.m. PST. Then we're going to pretty much take a week off. Now, not to say there won't be any streaming during the week of the meetup. We just will have to kind of play it by ear and go, as scheduling permits. So there may or may not be some things, but if you follow me over on Twitter, you'll know what's going on there. And then we'll be back the following week with all the same stuff. I occasionally hop in. I was feeling a little sick today, and I wasn't the only one. So Cavecast did get postponed until I believe next week over on Sammy 3Pete's channel, but go give him a follow. That's a great show. I'm very happy to be a part of, along with this show immediately after. Always a good time being here, Theo. Thanks for having me on, and anywhere else I happen to be invited, I'll pop in and out, and just follow over on X and you'll know where to find me.
All right, great. Thanks, buddy. Gal, what are you doing later?
Screaming into the void. It's another stream on Samuel the Infamous channel. I am not answering the actual question you just tried to ask me. So
is that real quick? Is that a girl cat or a boy cat?
It is a boy cat.
Dang. Okay.
Both my cats
I thought we were working on kind of a 101 Dalmatians thing. I misread the vibe. That's on me. That's my bad.
Hey, maybe your cat's got the same sexuality as you.
No, I was kind of thinking that too. Her cat does look like it has bottom energy, and I would say so.
Oh no,
this
he
might
definitely
still
does not.
Oh, okay, all right. So he might be a biter. That's good. That's what, we can have this conversation later. I don't feel like the audience needs to see all this. Is there anything else you want to promote before
Yeah. Every Wednesday on my channel, Green Haired Anti-Liberal, I read a book to the chat because a lot of people don't have time to read on their own, or they can't, or they don't want to, but they enjoy listening. So why not listen to me and watch
women
me?
who can't read are hot, by the way. Put that in the chat.
Can't read or hot. So what are you trying to say about me, my friend?
That's kind of a red flag if you're literate. I'm gonna be honest. That's how a lot of this trouble got started. Anyway, that's
those women are not literate. Nope. No.
Right, the book talk girlies. We got to do another episode on book talk because my first book talk episode got derailed. Gal, you were there.
I wasn't talking about those women specifically. I mean, maybe one. But yes, that's me. Otherwise, I produce for Dermy Wormy on his channel for Ballbusters and other things I help him out with. So, yeah, we just finished Frankenstein last week and are going to talk about it this coming Wednesday on our Let It Simmer because it's called Cooking the Books.
Oh, I see. It's a series of puns. That's cool. All right.
I think I'm kind of punny sometimes.
Right. Well,
no, you're supposed to stress the you.
You're very funny.
That's my girl Selena right there.
I mean, my show title is also a pun, so I mean, we're just rolling with it. Speaking of Selena, when you're not offering friendship and support and camaraderie to Gal, what kind of stuff are you up to? Where can people find you?
You can find me on the Weekly Rogues Gallery on Wednesdays and the Weekly Rogues Gallery on Fridays at 5 p.m. PST. You can find me here on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. And what?
You're coming through the wrong mic.
This mic?
There you go. Now you're better.
This is so weird. Okay, I will.
ASMR though.
Okay, so did anybody hear that?
We
Start
heard
over.
it.
You
For
heard
the
it
most
enough,
part.
right? Anyway, just follow me on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah, if you could say it again but breathier, I think the audience would appreciate
And
it.
closer to the mic, maybe run your nails across it a little.
That would be great for the
She
audience.
does the booking for Rogues Gallery, folks. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Theo, mind if I
There's two
add
reasons
one
for
more
that, come on.
announcement? I forgot to.
Yeah,
do.
go ahead. Plug something else.
All right, so if I'm understanding it correctly, I'm supposed to be on oh, why can't they have the name of the show now? Let me look. I apologize. It's gonna be Ryan Roger Athay's channel. I'm going to be on Reality Base this Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get some, to do that, which would be freaking awesome. I forgot about it.
Cool.
Excellent. Anyway, my name is Theo Snodgrass. This is Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass. I host this 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the weekend and weekday Rogues Gallery over on Iron's channel. I'm on Insert Title here at Nerds Covering the News over on Emerald's channel. And if you haven't gotten enough of me just today, I got good news for you. I'm going to be over on Full Metal Nate's channel, reprising my role as fan favorite Butterscotch Ballynook, the halfling bard. Is he promiscuous or is he just learning to love? Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe this episode of Curse of Strahd. I'm also all over the country performing stand-up comedy. I'm going to be in Vegas pretty soon. That's really exciting. I've also got a merch store you should buy stuff from and a Patreon you should subscribe to. And that's so many things, right? So go ahead and just follow me on X and subscribe to me on YouTube. Subscribe to me on Rumble too. You know what? Be my friend on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Hit my DMs. DMs are wide open, more for some people than others. And I'm just saying, get to know me, get in touch with me. I want to make a personal connection with you, the audience. And if you want to be on the show, fucking hit me up. It's going to be great. All right. That was fun. I'm done pitching. We're going to do a hard out because I don't have outro music yet. So this has been rad. Everybody wave.